2024 Masters Tournament is coming, and you can hear all the action on Sirius XM.
It turned right into the cup for John Rahm.
Masters Radio returns Monday, April 8th, with play-by-play coverage from Augusta National Golf Club beginning Thursday, April 11th.
Rory McIlroy, 8 under par, 64. He's thinking grand slam.
Hear the 2024 Masters on Channel 92 when you're in the car and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
The Toronto Blue Jays season opener. You've waited a long time for this. No shame in being eager. It's okay to want more, because more is what we're all aiming for. Last year's starting rotation was one of the best in baseball. Let's get even better.
Swing and a miss, strike three.
Defense got to almost every ball in the outfield. Get to them all.
He made the catch. He got it. And he made a snow cone catch.
You think you're the only one who wants more?
Get after it. Bichette powers the ball to left field. It's out of here.
Get after it.
Two-run home run, Bo Bichette.
Light that fire.
Up and down this lineup, they're all hungry for more.
Big fly, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 7-3 Blue Jays.
But when everyone pushes themselves to be better, motivates each other to be better, you better believe we can all get better.
And the Blue Jays win the game.
Get after it.
It all starts here. Welcome back to Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Light that fire.
On the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Happy opening day. After nearly 5 months away, baseball is back. The cool air outside won't stop the boys of summer from taking the field today as they debut inside Tropicana Field. Hi, thanks so much for joining us for this season opener. I'm Ben Schulman. To my left is the former Major Leaguer Chris LaRue. Our host and producer today is Show Ali, and Tom Young is our technical director. Toronto Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers on St. Clair and on Laird Avenue in Toronto. Protect your vehicle from rust today. Find your local family-owned Crown at crown.com, Canada's #1 rust protection. It's a matchup of tough right-handers today as Jose Barrios and Zach Eflin face off with a strong start to the season on both their minds. It's the Blue Jays and the Rays in the 2024 season opener when we come back. You're listening to Blue Jays baseball streaming on the Sportsnet app, sportsnet.ca, and across the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The Blue Jays are inviting you to work from Dome. Put it in your calendar. 307 weekday starts this season. You can work from Dome with friends or coworkers at Rogers Center. It's a game changer. Make the ballpark your office for the afternoon. Work from Dome. 307 weekday starts. Let's touch base. Check out ticket options on bluejays.com/workfromdome.
Everyone dreams of owning their own personal slice of heaven. Now you can, thanks to Fixed Rate Pizza by Pizza Pizza. Until the end of 2024, lock into an extra-large 4-topping pizza at a fixed price of $17.99. No matter how bad food prices get this year, your pizza price stays. So why not say no to surge pricing and yes to Fixed Rate Pizza? Order now from Pizza Pizza.
Order pizzapizza.ca.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
They are among the greatest to ever play their sports.
Caitlin Clark is the all-time scoring leader.
They are legends and icons.
Larry Bird hit the shot with 2 seconds left. I don't know how he did it.
And you can hear them right now on the all-new Sirius XM app.
We are here with Iowa superstar Caitlin Clark.
I'm so focused on winning. It's never anything I ever take for granted.
Here comes Larry Bird, the Hall of Famer, and you just won Legend of the Year.
Legend of the Year, isn't that something?
For access to the game's greats, rely on the leader in sports audio. Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app.
In season or out of season, the #1 place for college sports is Sirius XM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
At Radio Network.
The Blue Jays just minutes away from opening the 2024 season at Tropicana Field against the Tampa Bay Rays. Welcome back, and thanks so much for joining us for this edition of Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. And Chris, we went through spring, we went through a long off season, but now all of us get to rejoice and watch some baseball once again. How excited are you?
Well, I'm really excited. This is my first broadcasting opening day, and I don't know, is this your first broadcasting opening day?
At the major league level, yes.
All right. Well, happy to be here alongside you. I'm really excited for this season. And I know some people don't agree with me, but I like the way this roster is constructed. I like the fact that all the Blue Jays need is Vlad to do a little better, George Springer to do a little better. That's not a lot to ask. I think Vlad knows what he needs to do. He needs to use the big part of the field, and we saw that in spring training. Instead of pulling that fastball on the outside corner and hitting a very hard 25 hopper to the shortstop like he did so often last year, I think he's realizing now with his power potential, if he just takes that pitch and hits it into the gap in right field or hits it into the gap in left center, he can be a very, very good hitter. And that's not to say he didn't have a fine year last year. But if he can be somewhere between 2021 and 2022, Vlad, the Blue Jays are going to be infinitely better this year.
We'll just have to wait about 5 minutes to find out. But before we get there, let's go to our host today for the first time in Baseball Control. Here's Show Ali.
Thank you very much, guys. Happy opening day, boys. Very excited to be getting some regular season baseball today. Before we check out the starting lineups and get you over to first pitch, let's hear from Blair and Barker. The guys spoke with Brian Anderson from Bally Sports Sun ahead of today's game. Barker asked Brian for advice on how the Jays hitters can take advantage of today's Rays starter, Zach Eflin.
Take advantage of the mistakes, because there will be mistakes made. You know, you go out there as a starting pitcher and you throw 100 pitches, you're going to leave some out over the heart of the plate. Can't miss them.
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to be a guy that can consistently overpower you in the strike zone. So when he catches the meaty part of the strike zone, you have got to capitalize. And if you do that, then listen, then you have a chance to put together a nice day offensively. But if you allow those pitches to get by you, you foul them off, you miss them, and now all of a sudden he starts darting those edges, now you're in big trouble. You just have to, and I think that's true of almost any pitcher, but especially with Zach because he's such a command guy. You know, we have a game right now that's full of stuff guys, but not a lot of command guys, and he is a command guy, so you got to capitalize on his mistakes.
Catch the full conversation with Blair, Barker, and Brian Anderson on their podcast feed, of course, wherever you grab your favorite podcast. Before we get started, let's check out the Bet365 standings update. Download the Bet365 app for today's baseball odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19+, play responsibly, Ontario only. As you might expect on opening day, everyone in baseball is 0-0, except for the Dodgers and Padres, who, thanks to the Seoul Series, of course, the regular season getting started a couple of weeks ago, they are both 1-1. After playing in Korea a few weeks ago. And don't forget, we do have Jays Talk today. Blair and Barker will take your calls as always. He will throw out the numbers after the final out. We'll get the phone lines going again starting tonight for the rest of the season. The guys will be on Mondays to Fridays all year long. All right, we're just about ready to go. So before we get you to first pitch, let's get to the game and the action. Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue with the call of all things Blue Jays.
Thank you very much, Show. The Blue Jays about to get set to face off with Zach Eflin. And let's take a look at the lineup. That third-year manager in his second full season, John Schneider, will trot out today. Leading off for the Blue Jays will be the right fielder, George Springer. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. bats second and plays first. Bo Bichette hitting third, the shortstop. Justin Turner DHs and cleans up. Dalton Varsho in left field batting fifth. Alejandro Kirk, the catcher, hits sixth. Kevin Kiermaier's the center fielder today. He'll bat seventh. And Isaiah Kiner-Falefa hitting eighth at third. Finally, Kevin Biggio, the nine-hitter, who plays second base. They will have Jose Barrios on the mound, but first it's Zach Eflin and the Tampa Bay Rays, who will lead off Yandy Diaz today. Brandon Lau, the second baseman, hits second. Randy Arozarena, the left fielder, batting third. Harold Ramirez is the DH and cleanup hitter. Isaac Paredes is the third baseman and fifth hitter, with Richie Palacios, the right fielder, batting sixth. In center field, it's Jose Siri batting seventh. Jose Caballero, the shortstop, hits eighth, and then Rene Pinto is the catcher, taking over as the main guy for the Rays, batting ninth, and it will be the 10th season once this first pitch is thrown for two-time AL Manager of the Year, Kevin Cash. We see Zach Eflin right now warming up. Chris, he's an interesting guy. Coming off his most successful season, a year in which he went 16-8, tied Chris Bassett for the American League lead in wins, a 3.5 ERA. But as that clip, that show played from Bally Sports South analyst Brian Anderson talked about, he's not a guy with overpowering stuff. His fastball is going to sit 92, 93. He's really going to try and move around the zone and beat you.
Yeah, like Brian Anderson said, he's more of a command guy, and you don't really see that often anymore. It's more of a power pitcher's game. But Zach Eflin is a guy, he's 6'6", and he has a lot of down angle on that fastball, a lot of sink. So 92, 93, it's not straight. It's very hard to hit. And I think that if he can get on a roll, he's a guy that can go 6 or 7 innings. So the Blue Jays have to take advantage of him early.
Eflin gets a new baseball, and George Springer steps into the box. We are about to get started in the 2024 season. Eflin steps back, kicks up, fires home, and hits the outside edge for strike one. With that, we're underway at 4:10 p.m. Eastern. The 0-1. Springer takes a breaking ball outside, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. George Springer coming off his 3rd season with the Blue Jays, in which he hit .258, the 1-1. Big sweeping curveball for strike 2. 21 home runs for George last year, 72 RBIs in 154 games, second most games of his career. The 1-2. Lined and caught on a leap at short by Jose Caballero. Decent contact, but the first out there on a nice play.
Yeah, that was a good pitch from Zach Eflin, a big sweeper. George Springer was lucky to get a bat on that, almost missed it completely and kind of hit it off on the end of the bat. Nice play by the shortstop.
Caballero brought over in a trade this offseason from Seattle for Luke Raley, and he will be the primary shortstop this year. 1 out, bases empty, no score, top of the 1st, and the pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s hit on the ground to first, speared by Yandy Diaz, who goes back to the bag, and very quickly there are 2 down. The first inning is brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Bring nature to your backyard with Armstrong, feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. 2 down in 5 pitches. Here comes Bo Bichette. Bo finished 3rd last year in the American League in batting average at .306. The first pitch is down and in, ball 1. The guy who won the batting title was the guy who just made the play at first base for the Rays. Yandy Diaz hit .330 last year. The 1-0. Down and away, and Bichette takes. It's a 2-ball, no strike count here for Bo. Top of the 1st inning of the first game of the season. Bases empty and 2 down. The 2-0 pitch. Bichette grounds it foul behind him. 2-1.
Really good pitch from Zach Eflin there. A 2-0 sweeper at 86 miles an hour, down and away. You don't really see that early on in games that often, but that just shows you how good of command that Zach Eflin has.
Swing and a miss on the curveball by Bichette, and now it's 2-2. Tropicana Field getting loud for the first time this regular season. Zach Eflin trying to finish off a 1-2-3 inning, maybe in 10 pitches. Here's his next offering. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He does. A line out, a ground out, and a strikeout start off the season for the Blue Jays. Jose Barrios will come to the mound when we return in the bottom of the 1st. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
At our core, who are we? The sum of our parts? Nah, we're more than that. There's nobody like us. At our core, we are built to win. Relentless in our pursuit of greatness. Who are we? Blue Jays to the core.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
He delivers a 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. Ben Schulman, Chris LaRue, our host Show Ali, and technical director Tom Young. Bottom of the first of the season opener, and Jose Barrios is on the mound. The right-hander from Puerto Rico about to pitch to Yandy Diaz. His first offering is swung on and missed. Strike 1. No score, Blue Jays and Rays. And Barrios, after an impressive 2023 season, tries to start it off the right way in 24. The 0-1 to the right-handed hitter. Right on the outside edge, strike 2.
And he had an impressive spring training as well. He added that cutter. And I'm always skeptical when pitchers that are as seasoned as him add a new pitch, but he looked great. He had a 1.38 ERA.
Used the breaking ball on 0-2, but missed low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's after a season in which he had a 3.65 ERA in nearly 190 innings. Struck out almost 4 times as many guys as he walked. He kicks back and delivers. Missed again with the breaking ball. It's 2-2.
Yeah, he looked incredible, not only last year, but in spring training. And you can see his first 4 pitches today are very, very sharp. His slider is very sharp. We haven't seen the cutter yet, but his fastball is dotting through the zone. Looks good so far.
2-2. Hit hard to left field and gone. Yandy Diaz lines it over the short wall in the left field corner, and the Rays take an early 1-0 lead.
And that was a changeup that was in on Yandy Diaz. In off the plate, actually. He pulled his hands through and hit that line drive over that short fence in left field. A really, really good piece of hitting on a changeup that was in off the plate.
A lot of righties won't throw the righty-righty changeup. And Barrios, I think, left that one maybe a little bit higher than he would have intended to, even though it wasn't in the zone. So Diaz's first of the year gets the Rays on top here in the bottom of the first. 1-0 Tampa Bay. First pitch to left-handed hitter Brandon Lau is fouled back 0-1.
Yeah, I think Jose Barrios definitely wants that pitch back. Alejandro Kirk had that location with the glove down and in, and he just left belt high off the plate. Like I said, a very good piece of hitting, but Jose Barrios definitely wants that pitch back.
The 0-1. Upstairs, ball 1. Brandon Lau is one of 2 left-handed hitters that Jose Barrios will see today. Richie Palacios comes up 6th. 1-0 Rays, bases empty in the bottom of the first. Barrios' next pitch is in there, strike 2. Lau coming off a season in which he hit 21 homers, 68 RBIs in 109 games, batted .231. Lau asks for time. It's granted. He'll be back in the box in just a moment. Here he is. The 1-2. High and outside with a fastball at 96. You were mentioning the Barrios fastball earlier. He throws a sinker and a 4-seamer. We'll use the sinker more. The 2-2. Called, strike 3. Changeup lands on the outside corner. And Barrios strikes out Lau for his first out of the season.
And that changeup right there is the location that he wanted to throw it in to Yandy Diaz. That was about 5 or 6 inches lower than that pitch that Yandy Diaz hit out. His changeup looks very good. We haven't seen the cutter yet, but his 3 pitches that he mainly throws are very sharp right now.
Here's Randy Arozarena. The first pitch is a huge sweeping curveball for strike 1. His breaking ball a little hard to classify. Some call it a sweeper, some a slider, some a curve, some a slurve, but it breaks a ton both down and horizontally. His 0-1. A front door breaking ball that he slowed down to 80 for strike 2.
I like to call that a slurve. That's more of an old school name for it. I know the new school is a sweeper, but I stick with slurve, and that slurve right now is very sharp.
I believe Barrios had an accessory fall off of him as he threw that pitch, so flipping his necklace back on, he asked for time.
That is a large gold chain.
Well, Jose Barrios, ahead of the 2022 season, signed a 7-year, $131 million deal with the Blue Jays, $19 million a year. He has an opt-out in 2026, but is entitled to about $25 million in 2027 and 28 if he stays in the contract. The 0-2 yanked the fastball away from Arozarena, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-0 Rays, bottom of the first, 1 down. Alejandro Kirk working behind the plate with Barrios, with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Cavan Biggio on the right side of the infield. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with that breaking ball, and there are 2 down.
And again, another good breaking ball down in the zone. That started about right down the middle and broke off the plate, and Arozarena had no chance. You see the look on his face there. You know that's a good breaking ball.
Jose Barrios hasn't even used his defense yet after back-to-back strikeouts in the solo homer. But on the left side, Bo Bichette plays short, and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is at third. Here's the pitch to Harold Ramirez. It's outside, ball 1. In left, Dalton Varsho. In center, Kevin Kiermaier, the longtime Ray. And in right, George Springer. 2 down, in the right-handed hitting Ramirez up after a season in which he batted .313. The 1-0, swing and a miss on an elevated fastball. Ramirez fell over the plate, whiffing on that pitch. It's 1-1. Barrios rears back and fires. And it's a chopper to the third base side of the mound, picked up by the Gold Glover Barrios, who throws over to first and ends the inning. A good bounce back, but the Rays get on the board with a leadoff homer from Yandy Diaz. It's 1-0 Tampa Bay at the end of 1. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Experience the excitement of the men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments on Sirius XM and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The 1 seed to the brink and holds on.
Search March Madness to hear Westwood One's coverage of all the games.
Holy smokes, what a play!
Plus pre- and post-game shows and get analysis on basketball and beyond with Coach K. Get radio channels for your games at SiriusXM.com/sports or search March Madness on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win your fantasy leagues right now on Channel 87.
It's a home run for Ronald Acuna.
From in-season fantasy baseball management to daily fantasy basketball to getting you ready for the NFL Draft, Fantasy Sports Radio is here to help you dominate.
How you manage your team day in and day out will be the difference in where you finish in 2024.
Fantasy Sports Radio, your home for fantasy sports. Channel 87 and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on Sirius XM. We're back on the track Sunday,
6 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Toyota Owners 400 from Richmond Raceway.
Checker flag, baby. Yeah.
On Sirius XM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 in the car and on the all-new Sirius XM app. Get closer to everything that moves you wherever you are with the Sirius XM app.
Let's make some smoke and drink some beer. Yeah.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win whichever fantasy sport you play. Right now on Channel 87 and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's the second inning presented by Bet365. At Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and you can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. 1-0 Rays over the Blue Jays. Top of the second inning at Tropicana Field, and Justin Turner takes a strike to start his first at-bat as a Blue Jay. The 0-1 is grounded off his back foot. 0-2. Turner coming over from the Red Sox after a long career with the Dodgers as well. The 39-year-old hitting 23 home runs last season, driving in a career-high 96. In a hole right now, though. Here's the 0-2 from Zach Eflin. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase an elevated fastball. That's the first out here. Zach Eflin, the 2012 first-rounder by the Padres, has been really efficient so far. He's thrown 13 pitches to get 4 outs in a row. He faces his first left-handed opponent, though, in Dalton Varsho, and the first pitch is downstairs, ball 1. Varsho coming off a season in which he hit .220, 20 homers, 61 driven in. The 1-0. Outside, ball 2. And being more selective has been a big part of Varsho's offseason in spring.
Yeah, everything that we learned in spring training is that he's trying to lay off that outside pitch.
The 2-0. He takes another pitch away off the plate. 3 balls and no strikes.
And very clearly, that's his approach. Those first 3 pitches from Eflin have been either down and away or just off the plate. Last year, he might have swung at those pitches, but this year it seems like he's not.
The 3-0 offering at the bottom of the zone for strike 1. That approach helped Varsho hit over 300 in the spring. The 3-1. Swing and a fly ball to right. Coming in is Palacios. He'll make the call and wave off Brandon Lau and make the catch. There are 2 outs.
For a split second, I thought Palacios lost it in that white roof at Tropicana, but he quickly got underneath it. We've seen a lot of problems over the years with that roof at Tropicana.
Yeah, I'm hoping to not go through the catwalk rules that I've written down in my scorebook today, but we might have to go through them, or maybe we'll do it for fun anyway. There's 2 down right now in the top of the second. Alejandro Kirk bats. The pitch from Eflin. Misses outside, 1-0. Kirk is going to be one of the most important Blue Jays at the start of the season. Danny Jansen has broken a small bone in between his hand and wrist. The 1-0. Called strike. It's called the pisiform bone. Some say it's in the hand, some say it's in the wrist. I'm not a doctor, but it shouldn't be months and months, but it could require Kirk to play a lot at the beginning of the year. He takes another pitch, this time on the inside edge for strike 2. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs against Kirk. Top of the second inning. Blue Jays looking for their first base runner. Eflin's pitch is fouled back.
And I think the most important thing when we talk about Alejandro is the fact that he doesn't look tired at this point during the season. Last year he came into spring training, and I'm not even talking about his conditioning. He just looked tired. The year before, he was worked hard. He had never been worked that hard before in his career. He looks really refreshed right now.
1-2 pitch bounces. Kirk lays off.
He looks refreshed. He looks light on his feet. So I have no doubts that he's going to be able to pick up the slack until Danny Jansen comes back. He's one of the most important, not only defensive, but offensive parts of this team as well.
2-2 to Kirk. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Eflin got him to chase after the breaking ball, and that's his 3rd strikeout of the day to go 6 up, 6 down to start this game. Middle of the second, it's 1-0 Rays. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center, a solid neighbor to call upon when you've got a job to do. Your dependable home improvement store that offers the added value of Air Miles reward miles with every purchase of $15 or more. Visit timbermart.ca.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep. Because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Which Looney Dogger are you? The fork and knifer, splatterer, condiment queen, or Big Dipper? This season at Rogers Center, every Tuesday home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. You will have the opportunity to purchase $1 hot dogs from various concession stands around the stadium. Then show the world your Looney Dog style. Because whether you're the mustard maven or ketchup king, no Blue Jays game is complete without hot dogs. So don't miss out on this deal. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's, every Tuesday home game.
Timber Mart always has plans to help you with your plans. Your home, your cottage, your garage, whatever needs your attention first, check the most visited spot on our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's Building Centre. Visit timbermart.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
The 0-2 pitch. Fastball, strike three looking.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bottom of the second inning at Tropicana Field. The Blue Jays and the Rays in the season opener. And right now it's an early Tampa Bay advantage. 1-0. The home side leads over Toronto. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Jose Barrios back out on the mound. Isaac Paredes leads off with a wide open stance from the right side. The pitch. Fastball called a little bit low, 1-0.
And that was about as good as it gets on the corner, down and away. That was clearly, maybe not clearly, but it was a strike for sure at 95 miles an hour.
Barrios fires and misses in the dirt with a breaking ball, 2-0. Isaac Paredes had a breakout year last year for the Rays. Hit 31 home runs and drove in 98. The 2-0. Fastball away, 3-0. Typically, though, in this battle over their careers, it's Barrios who's had the advantage over Paredes. Paredes is just 1 for 8. The 3-0 pitch. Fastball in there for strike one. Now, Paredes might counter. The one is a home run. He hit a solo shot. But that was in the 20-1 dismantling of the Rays that the Blue Jays had last year at the Trop. A deep breath from the right-hander. He fires home. And it's hit foul to the left side. Barrios has battled back from 3-0 to a full count. Paredes is going to ask for time and adjust his bright neon batting gloves. And now he's back in the box. Barrios looking in, getting the sign over PitchCom. Tucks the ball into his glove, belt high. His payoff pitch. Poked foul to the right side.
And that's so tough when you're a pitcher and you can throw that very, very good sweeper.
We're going with
slider, slurve, whatever you. I don't know. I have a difficult time saying sweeper. 3-2, such a good pitch.
His 3-2 again is another slurve. This time fouled to the left side. The bullpens are on the field at Tropicana Field still, and the Blue Jays bullpen got a little bit of a wake-up call there.
Yeah, not much has changed over the years at Tropicana. One of the few ballparks with the bullpen on the field now.
The 3-2 for a third time, hit foul again to the left side. As a reliever, how did you feel about that when you had to sit out there? Did you like it because you were closer, or were you...
I loved it. I loved Wrigley. I used to back up every guy that was warming up because I needed to stretch. I needed to stand up. But more importantly, I just like being close to the action. When you're backing up, you can get very close, almost to like the third base coach.
Another 3-2 pitch hit in the air down the left field line in foul territory and into the seats. Dalton Varsho chased it toward the wall but curled back and returns to his position.
There's actually a bike not in the bullpen, but on the other side of the fence, that so relievers can warm up. They can stay ready. I don't know if anybody uses that.
Next pitch from Barrios. Popped up foul territory, right side. Vladdy over near the fence, near the netting, makes the catch just in front of the wall for out number one. Yeah, that bike feels very like NFL, like they rented one potentially from the Buccaneers or something like that.
If you can handle fans yelling at you and saying whatever it is they're saying, more power to you. But I'm not the one that's going to be riding that bike.
Well, Vladdy getting along with the fans well. He fist bumped a fan in the front row after making the catch. First pitch to Richie Palacios, his high ball 1. Palacios acquired in January from St. Louis. They sent Andrew Kittredge, the pitcher, the other way. The 1-0. Left-handed hitter taps it foul on a check swing, or at least a check swing attempt, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Palacios will help the Rays out in the outfield. Actually, a lot of position players right now not at full strength for Tampa Bay. The 1-1. Changeup misses low. Johnny DeLuca, who they acquired in the Tyler Glasnow trade, was supposed to be a guy who could feature in the outfield, but he fractured his right hand. Josh Lowe is out with a strained oblique as well. Here's the 2-1 from Barrios. Foul ball down the first base line. 2-2. Then you have Jonathan Aranda, who fractured his right finger on March 17th. And Taylor Walls is still recovering from hip surgery. That happened on October 30th of last year. 1 out, bases empty, 1-0 Rays, bottom of the second. The 2-2. Called strike 3. Might have been a little bit inside, but Barrios gets the benefit on that fastball for his 3rd strikeout of the day.
And that pitch was perfectly placed. You can say that pitch was inside, but that ball comes running back over the inner third of the plate at 95 miles an hour, just catching the inside part of that plate. What a good pitch.
And the virtual strike box would at least say that that one did clip the plate. So there are 2 down now for Jose Siri. Barrios' first offering is a fastball for strike 1. Siri, another guy who broke out last year for the Rays. 25 homers in 101 games. Plays center field for Tampa Bay. The 0-1. Another fastball, exact same spot at the top of the zone. It's 0-2. Barrios has already struck out 3 today. Here's his 2-strike pitch. Hit hard through the right side and into right field for a base hit.
And that's probably another pitch that Jose Barrios would want back. That was an 0-2 fastball right down the middle. And that's probably number 1 or 2 of no-nos as a pitcher. With 2 outs here and a runner on first, time to let you know that Blue Jays fans, you rushed the outfield district last season, so we added more unique places to watch the game, introducing new drink rails throughout the renovated lower bowl at Rogers Center, giving fans the freedom to watch the game at any angle. Visit bluejays.com/ticket packs and consider buying a ticket pack to check these changes out. First pitch to Jose Caballero, called strike 1. Good receive there by Alejandro Kirk as that pitch veered a little bit off the plate away. Yeah, Kirk is so good at stealing strikes. He's one of the best in the big leagues.
Barrios turns and throws to first, a dive back safely there by Jose Siri. Jose Caballero, the right-handed hitter, back in the box. Mentioned in the top of the first, he was acquired in a January trade from Seattle. He had .221 with 4 homers, 26 RBIs for the Mariners last year. 0-1 slurve, broke 3 feet, it looked like, and still landed in the zone for strike 2. He's got that pitch really moving today.
Yeah, Barrios looks great right now. He just has 2 pitches that he wants back. That fastball right down the middle and that changeup to Yandy Diaz.
The 0-2. Runner leaves, pitches outside, and the throw not in time. Good pitch for Siri to run on. He picked the slurve and is now in scoring position with a 1-2 count against Caballero and 2 down.
Yeah, Kirk really didn't have a chance. That was a tough slurve that he had to reach for.
Pretty good break by Siri, but nothing monumental. But Kirk had to pop up and reach down at the same time. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him on that same slurve, and Jose Barrios strikes out a pair here and strands a runner in the bottom of the second. Still 1-0 Tampa Bay as we go to the third. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The Blue Jays are inviting you to work from Dome. Put it in your calendar. 3:07 weekday starts this season. You can work from Dome with friends or coworkers at Rogers Center. It's a game changer. Make the ballpark your office for the afternoon. Work from Dome. 3:07 weekday starts. Let's touch base. Check out ticket options on BlueJays.com/workfromdome.
Everyone dreams of owning their own personal slice of heaven. Now you can, thanks to Fixed Rate Pizza by Pizza Pizza. Until the end of 2024, lock into an extra-large 4-topping pizza at a fixed price of $17.99. No matter how bad food prices get this year, your pizza price stays. So why not say no to surge pricing and yes to Fixed Rate Pizza? Order now from Pizza Pizza.
Order pizzapizza.ca. At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
He dived, and he made the catch.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Third inning of Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers on St. Clair and Laird Avenue in Toronto. Protect your vehicle from rust today. Find your local family-owned Crown at crown.com, Canada's #1 rust protection. Zach Eflin delivers the first pitch high and outside to longtime Ray Kevin Kiermaier as we get underway in the third. 1-0 for the Rays. Here's the next pitch to the left-handed hitter. It's swung on and missed. Strike 1. Kiermaier embarking on his 12th Major League season, the first 10 of which were in a Tampa Bay uniform. The 1-1. High and inside. 2-1.
Pretty incredible story. He was a 31st round pick.
Guy who played in junior college from Fort Wayne, Indiana, but now makes his home in the Florida area. The 2-1, swing and a miss, 2-2.
Although, do we know if he was a draft and follow? Was that still a thing back then in 2010?
I don't think it was, but I'll get on that. The 2-2 pitch to Kiermaier. Downstairs, 3-2.
That was a question I thought you would know for sure.
Well, I'm not Google, but I'm trying. I'm trying. Kiermaier leads off. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and Kevin Biggio behind him. The 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, 1 down. Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue here, and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa now about to take his first plate appearance as a Toronto Blue Jay, acquired in the offseason on a 2-year, $15 million deal coming over from the New York Yankees. The right-on-right pitch is skied down the right field line and slices foul just beyond the Rays bullpen. 0-1.
You could tell that fastball from Eflin plays just a little bit harder than the 92. He's a big guy, 6'6", so that he's reaching close to home plate when he lets go of that ball.
Delivers a fastball over the heart of the plate, but IKF takes, and it's 0-2. Two-strike offering is popped up behind second. The second baseman, Lau, ranges out, called off by the center fielder, Siri, who makes the catch, 2 down. Nobody on for the Blue Jays. They're down 1-0 here in the top of the third inning with 2 outs. Eflin an out away from going 9 up, 9 down to start his 2024 season, a season in which he'll be relied upon as the Rays' ace. First pitch to Kevin Biggio, left-handed hitter, takes strike 1. I mentioned last inning some of the position player injuries, but the Rays have a ton of pitching injuries as well. Eflin's 0-1. Outside, 1-1. First of all, Shane McClanahan won't pitch this year. Had Tommy John surgery in August. The 1-1. Down and in, 2-1. Then you have other potential starters like Drew Rasmussen, who's still on the IL in the 60-day after elbow surgery in July of 2023. Jeffrey Springs dealing with Tommy John. 2-1 pitch fouled back by Biggio, 2-2. And one guy that they at least thought that they would go into the year with. They knew some of the other guys. Shane Baz as well had Tommy John at 22. He's just on the 15-day IL, so he could come back early in the year. But Taj Bradley, their young starter, has a strained pectoral muscle that he suffered in the spring. 2-2 to Biggio. He looks at it for called strike 3. Well, he's playing the role of the ace pretty well right now. Zach Eflin with 5 strikeouts, going 9 up, 9 down to start his season. Middle of the third, it's 1-0 Rays. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers, streaming on the Sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and you can hear the best matchups and wall-to-wall coverage on NBA Radio Channel 86.
Driving through the rim, got there, lays it up and in!
We're getting you ready for the postseason with our experts all day, every day.
This is what playoff basketball is, man. This ain't about pretty stuff.
Defensively, they have 0 weaknesses.
The NBA postseason starts April 16th, and your home for all the action is NBA Radio Channel 86 in the car and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
This is CJ Nikowski. Join me, Ryan Spilborghs, and Brad Lidge every weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern as we give you the player's perspective of what's happening in baseball.
He is possessed every time he goes out there right now. This is crazy.
There's this energy that certain players bring.
It's Loud Outs every weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM, Channel 89, and the all-new SiriusXM app.
Get ready for the 2024 NFL Draft on SiriusXM NFL Radio.
Touchdown, Caleb Williams.
Catch exclusive interviews with the top prospects as they begin their journey to the NFL. And hear pick-by-pick coverage of the 2024 Draft from Detroit in April.
With the first pick, the Chicago Bears select.
Your home for the 2024 NFL Draft is SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 in the car and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
In season or out of season, the #1 place for college sports is SiriusXM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
Bottom of the third inning, Blue Jays and Rays on opening day. It's 1-0 Tampa Bay. Rene Pinto leads off for Tampa Bay against right-hander Jose Barrios for Toronto, and the first pitch is outside, ball 1. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. Hit a home run on your next home improvement. For a great selection of renovation products and quality brands, Timber Mart has the bases loaded for a grand slam on every project. Batter up. Timber Mart is Canada's building center. 1-0 fouled back, and it's 1-1 here in the Timber Mart broadcast booth. Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about how many injuries this Tampa Bay Rays team has, but in this lineup today, 4 guys hit over 20 homers last year. They still have a lot of pop.
And they're the Rays. They tend to figure it out no matter who's in the lineup, who's in the rotation. The 1-1 is a fastball dotted on the outside edge, 1-2.
And that's the thing. The Rays always figure it out. They just do. You can never count them out.
Won 99 games last season. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First time through the order, Jose Barrios has struck out 5. He used an elevated four-seamer there to retire Pinto for the first out in the bottom of the third.
And I love when Barrios goes elevated fastball like that to get a strikeout. He's so good at it, and his fastball kind of just powers through the zone at 96 miles an hour.
Here's Yandy Diaz, though, who capitalized on one of the few Barrios mistakes today. Hit a homer to lead off the bottom of the first. First pitch is a fastball called high, 1-0.
At the top of the zone. It was a strike, but we'll take it, I guess.
He missed the spot, I will say, so Kirk reached awkwardly across the plate. Sometimes that can fool the umpires. The 1-0. That one's in there for sure, called strike one.
And I'm sure Barrios doesn't want to miss with that changeup on the inner part of the plate this time. Stay away with the fastball, with the slurve, and then maybe elevate with a fastball.
His 1-1 offering. Slurve down and away, 2-1. Yandy Diaz coming off his first career batting title. Was an all-star for the first time last year, too. Barrios' next offering is lined to center field. That'll sink in front of Kiermaier for a base hit.
And that was actually a very good slurve from Jose Barrios down in the zone, actually out of the strike zone. And Yandy Diaz just goes down and gets it. I think he broke his bat on the play, actually.
Yeah, that one, I think Barrios hit his spot, but Diaz just beat him. So a runner on first with one out here in the bottom of the third. 1-0 for the Rays over the Blue Jays. Here's left-handed hitting second baseman Brandon Lau. Barrios from the stretch. Ball hit on the ground to first. Vladdy steps on the first base bag, and they have Diaz in a rundown. Guerrero sprinting towards him, flips to Bichette, who will tag Diaz for a 3-6 double play. The defense picking up Jose Barrios after the Yandy Diaz single. He faces the minimum in the bottom of the third. 1-0 Tampa Bay. We go to the fourth. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
They are among the greatest to ever play their sports.
Caitlin Clark is the all-time scoring leader.
They are legends and icons.
Larry Bird hit the shot with 2 seconds left. I don't know how he did it.
And you can hear them right now on the all-new Sirius XM app.
We are here with Iowa superstar Caitlin Clark.
I'm so focused on winning. It's never anything I ever take for granted.
Here comes Larry Bird, the Hall of Famer, and he just won Legend of the Year.
Legend of the Year, isn't that something?
For access to the game's greats, rely on the leader in sports audio. Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app.
This is CJ Nikowski. Join me, Ryan Spilborghs, and Brad Lidge every weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern as we give you the player's perspective of what's happening in baseball.
He is possessed every time he goes out there right now. This is crazy.
There's this energy that certain players bring.
It's Loud Outs every weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM, Channel 89, and the all-new Sirius XM app.
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball. You love yelling at your buddies about baseball because they love baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinions, passionate baseball talk from former players and GMs, plus interviews with players, managers, and executives, and much, much, much more. If you can hear me right now, you've got MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Radio Network.
Top of the fourth inning, Ben Shulman alongside Chris LaRue. 1-0 Tampa Bay over Toronto at the Trop. And the Blue Jays will go second time through the order. Zach Eflin pitches to George Springer, who jacks the ball to left field, way back, and gone. First home run of the Blue Jays season, first run of the season, comes off the bat of George Springer. One game in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, we were talking about how good he looked in spring training, and will that translate to the regular season? That was a good swing that he put on that baseball. He hit .415 in spring training, and a lot of people saw a lot of good things, and I'm glad that it's continuing into the regular season.
George's first of the year and his 58th leadoff home run, or pardon me, not a leadoff home run, but a leadoff home run in the inning for the Blue Jays. And the first pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. called strike one.
Boy, that's a good sign.
Absolutely. Pulling the ball has been a big part of George's offseason. Here's the 0-1 to Guerrero. Outside, he takes the breaking ball away. 1-1. And with one swing of the bat, the Blue Jays didn't get a base runner on in the first 3 innings. They've all of a sudden tied this game. 1-1 to Guerrero. He lifts the ball to... Here's Bo Bichette to the plate. He hit 20 homers last year. First pitch he sees is yanked way down the line. If it's fair, it's gone. but it lands just foul. 0-1. Bichette struck out on a breaking ball by Zach Eflin back in the first inning. Eflin's 0-1. Outside 1-1. We're here in the fourth inning, presented by Bet365. At Bet365, you can bet live in-game on game props, totals, and on the money line. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Bichette lifts it to center. Siri backpedals and makes the catch in deep center field for the second out.
You can see that Zach Eflin's stuff isn't great, so if he's missing over the middle, it will get hit, just like that George Springer home run, just like the slider that he left over the middle to Bo Bichette that he hit foul. So for Zach Eflin to be successful continuing on in this game, he has to hit the corners.
And his game is predicated on hitting really fine spots, and he does it well. The pitch to Justin Turner is flied to left center. Siri ranging over there will jog into it and make the catch to end the inning. George Springer homers for the first Blue Jays run of the season, and at the middle of the fourth inning, we are tied at 1. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
At our core, who are we? The sum of our parts? Nah, we're more than that. There's nobody like us. At our core, we are built to win. Relentless in our pursuit of greatness. Who are we? Blue Jays to the core.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Vladdy with a huge stretch for the double play.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermark broadcast booth. Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue here. Bottom of the fourth inning, Blue Jays and Rays, and Jose Barrios back on the rubber now in a tie game. George Springer's solo shot has made it 1-1. Barrios takes on 3-4-5, though, in the Rays order. His first pitch to Randy Arozarena. Slurve low for ball one. In this fourth, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Devilishly good since Toronto first raised the trophy in '92. Here's the 1-0. Down and away, 2-0. Join St. Louis Bar and Grill for wings, ribs, beer, cocktails, and catch every play at your local St. Louis Bar and Grill. Download the app or visit stlouiswings.com for more details. Always devilishly good. The 2-0 to Arozarena. Called strike one. 1-1 at the Trop on today's domestic opening day. Almost everyone in action. A couple of rainouts today, unfortunately. The 2-1 pitch. A half swing. Appeal down to first. And they'll say no swing. 3-1. Over in Baltimore, the Orioles opening up their season hosting Mike Trout and the Angels. And Mike Trout got off to a very Mike Trout start. He homered in his first plate appearance of the year. The 3-1 grounded foul. 3-2. Only problem for the Angels is that Baltimore scored 2 in the first inning, 3 in the second inning, 2 in the third inning, and leads 7-1 over the Angels. Anthony Santander hit a grand slam in the game, and Adley Rutschman has 2 hits and 2 driven in. That one in the bottom of the 6th at Camden Yards. 3-2 count to the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the 4th, Randy Arozarena. Here's the payoff. Ground ball hit softly to third. First play for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa in a Blue Jay uniform, and he delivers in time. 1 out.
And then a game probably that a lot of people think will be the American League Championship Series at Minute Maid Park, Houston and New York. Houston, I think Yankees fans are scared right now.
Because Houston's up 4-0?
Well, and their injuries, and the fact that they're up 4-0. But Nestor Cortez has given up 4 runs in 2 2/3 innings. Jake Meyer with the solo shot there.
First pitch to Harold Ramirez, swing and a miss. Strike 1 with 1 out and the base is empty. 1-1 game, bottom of the 4th. All of our out-of-town scores brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. And the elbow issue that Garrett Cole is dealing with prevented him from starting opening day. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Ramirez lost the bat into the netting left side on a slurve that fooled him. It's 0-2, and thankfully the netting contained that bat to keep everyone okay.
Yeah, that slurve right there was probably his best one of the day, and Ramirez just lets go of that bat. That ball would have been, or that bat would have been in the stands if that big netting wasn't there. 5 years ago, that would have been a dangerous situation.
Here's the 0-2. Chop to short on the backhand side, fielded by Bichette. Overhand throw to first. 2 down. Elsewhere on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Maybe a matchup near and dear to your heart, Chris Lewis, as a former Marlin and Pirate. The Marlins hosting the Pirates and leading 4-2 right now. Jake Berger has driven into with 2 hits. Josh Bell has 2 hits. On the other side, a home run by Brian Reynolds has provided all of the Pittsburgh runs. That one in the bottom of the 3rd. Here's Isaac Paredes. 2 outs, base is empty. The pitch from Barrios is called strike 1.
Well, I must say that I had more success in Pittsburgh, so I do love me some Pittsburgh.
So you would be cheering for the Buccos?
Yes, I am certainly not cheering for the Marlins.
That one 4-2 Miami right now. Here's the 0-1. High, 1-1. Some other scores on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. San Francisco leads 1-0 over San Diego in the top of the 4th inning. Nick Ahmed with an RBI double off Yu Darvish to give the Giants the lead. 1-1 to Paredes. High ball 2. The Royals, who made a lot of moves in the offseason, trying to move up in the AL Central, hosting the reigning division winners in the Minnesota Twins. It's 2-1 Minnesota, top of the 4th. Royce Lewis has homered. Carlos Correa drove in a run on a double. 2-1 slurve popped up in the middle of the infield, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. makes the call and makes the catch to end the inning. Jose Barrios rolling along. He hasn't allowed a run since the first batter of the game that he faced, and it's 1-1 as we head to the 5th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rush Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey, feeling good.
Need a dose of sunshine?
Got that sunshine on my Sunday best.
Or a serotonin boost? Happy Radio is one of many happy extra channels available on the all-new SiriusXM app. Search Happy Radio to start listening to endless feel-good hits.
Hello, Blue Jay fans. I'm Craig Ballard, host of your daily Locked On Blue Jays podcast. Locked On Blue Jays is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Locked On Blue Jays brings you the latest Blue Jays news and analysis and breaks down all of the action. Locked On Blue Jays is everything a Blue Jays fan could want, all in a 30-minute daily podcast. Download Locked On Blue Jays right now on the SXM app, available with all trials and popular plans, or wherever you get your podcasts. Search Locked On Blue Jays.
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinions, passionate baseball talk from former players and GMs, plus interviews with players, managers, and executives, original specials, and much, much, much more. All baseball, every day, on your radio. If you can hear me right now, you've got MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
The Blue Jays are in flight, leading 3-0.
Blue Jays fans, this is Ross Atkins, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on Sirius XM.
We start the fifth inning in a tie ball game. Blue Jays and Rays in the season opener at Tropicana Field. Zach Eflin still on the rubber, the starter for the Rays. Kicks back and fires to Dalton Varsho, who takes inside ball one. Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue here. Zach Eflin, as we mentioned earlier, getting the start. Shane McClanahan, typically the ace for this team, but not available. The 1-0. Varsho chops it to second on the backhand side, picked up by Lau, who throws across his body to retire Varsho. One down. And let's take a look at the injury report brought to you by Bergmanis Prira Personal Injury Lawyers. If life has thrown you a curveball and you're striking out with your insurance company, get ahead of the count and call Bergmanis Prira Personal Injury Lawyers. You focus on getting better, and Bergmanis Prira will take care of the rest. Visit bplawyers.ca. Ross Atkins spoke with the media yesterday, provided updates on a lot of the Blue Jays' injuries. Here's Alejandro Kirk. First pitch to him. Swing and a miss, strike one. Kirk's friend behind the plate, Danny Jansen, dealing with an injury right now. Broken pisiform bone has him on the 15-day IL. Eric Swanson, Jordan Romano also on that injured list. Pardon me, Danny's on the 10-day, called strike two against Kirk. The pitcher's on the 15-day IL. Ross said that they could be minimal stints, certainly back within a month. Both are long tossing right now. I'm paraphrasing for him a bit as Kirk slices the 0-2 foul to stay alive. Joey Votto, he mentioned, is still a few days away from baseball activities. Votto stepped on a bat and rolled his ankle after homering in his lone plate appearance of the spring. 0-2 to Kirk. Ground ball foul to the left side this time. And he mentioned that Alek Manoah is just a little bit behind. He said yesterday that he had thrown 2 innings at the player development complex, 34 pitches. The next step, he said, is 3, then 4, and see how it goes for Manoah, who's also on that 15-day IL. All those guys can be backdated 3 days before the season. There's an off day in the mix of the first 11 games of the year, so 11 would be the minimum games that they would miss. 0-2 to Kirk. High chopper, barehanded at third, and the throw over to first in time by Isaac Paredes. Beat Kirk by a step, and there are 2 down.
And I would say that most guys in the major leagues would have beat that out, but Alejandro's, of course, not one of the faster guys in the big leagues. That was a big chopper to third, barehanded by the third baseman, and Kirk thrown out by about a step and a half over there at first base.
So Kirk is the second out. Here's Kevin Kiermaier, swing and a miss, strike one. Kiermaier coming off one of the better offensive seasons of his career. Here's the 0-1. Off the handle, rolled softly to second, scooped up by Lau, throws over to first, and 3 groundouts and the bottom of the 5th inning. Halfway through, it's 1-1 at the Trop. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and you can hear the best matchups and wall-to-wall coverage on NBA Radio Channel 86.
Driving through the rim, got there, lays it up and in!
We're getting you ready for the postseason with our experts all day, every day.
This is what playoff basketball is, man. This ain't about pretty stuff.
Defensively, they have 0 weaknesses.
The NBA postseason starts April 16th, and your home for all the action is NBA Radio Channel 86 in the car and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Blue Jays fans, your manager, John Schneider, joins MLB Network Radio's Hour Alley every other Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern.
I got all the confidence in the world in Jordan Romano. I've known him for a long time. I know his demeanor. And I always say, when you're talking about a closer giving up a couple runs in the 9th inning, it's just so much more magnified than a starting pitcher giving up a 2-run homer.
Managers at the mic on MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM 89 and the SXM app.
While you're listening to this game on Sirius XM, we're talking about the latest odds and prop bets for this and every game on Sports Grid Radio.
The under's minus 125. Heavy juice to the under.
Every home run hit and every strikeout thrown can change the line.
I can't for the life of me
figure out how you can favor a team that never wins, ever.
If you're looking for sports talk centered around the latest odds and prop bets for games, races, tournaments, or any sporting event, Sports Grid Radio, Sirius XM, Channel 159.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win whichever fantasy sport you play. Right now on Channel 87 and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Radio Network.
Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Bottom of the 5th inning, 1-1 game. Jose Barrios back on the bump. The right-hander starts with left-handed hitter Richie Palacios, then Jose Siri and Jose Caballero. First pitch to Palacios, bounced, ball 1. Take another look at the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard here in the bottom of the 5th. First, the right on left pitch. Ground ball to second, hit very softly. Biggio scoops it up, throws to first, and there's one down. One of the games we haven't covered yet in Southern California, the Dodgers hosting the Cardinals, and early on they are looking like the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman is 2 for 2 with a homer and 3 driven in. Mookie Betts has hit a homer, walked, and scored a second time as well. It's 5-1 for the Dodgers over the Cardinals in the top of the 4th. First pitch to Jose Siri, hit foul in the air to the right side, 0-1.
And Tyler Glasnow looks very good in that game. I think the Rays, I don't know if they'd want to have him back, but
well, they just made their Rays move. You know, they traded him because he was going to make a ton of money coming up soon. The 0-1, fouled off, 0-2. And they got Johnny DeLuca and Ryan Pepio, a young outfielder and a young pitcher, and that's just what they do. But yeah, he's looked good so far. The only blemish he's had today is a Paul Goldschmidt home run, and many people fall victim to that. 1 out, base is empty at the Trop, bottom of the 5th inning in a 1-1 game. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball high, Siri just lays off.
I don't know if you saw that replay, but Tyler Glasnow threw a fastball down in the zone on the outer third of the plate, and Paul Goldschmidt just went down and got it at 98 miles an hour.
I mean, he didn't win an MVP by accident.
It's a good player.
Barrios is 1-2. Fouled off to the right side. We're here in the Timbermart broadcast booth, by the way. Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue. Another AL Central matchup going on right now on the south side of Chicago. It's 1-0 for the Detroit Tigers, who have AL Central aspirations this year. Andy Ibanez hit a sac fly to score their first run of the year. 1-2 pitch by Barrios. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Siri looking all sorts of uncomfortable on a breaking ball down. And there are 2 outs on Barrios' 6th strikeout of the day.
Yeah, I think Siri was clearly expecting something else, probably a fastball up around the letters. And Jose Barrios is so good at bouncing that slurve back on behind the plate, and he does so right there. Jose Siri, no chance at that ball.
So 2 outs here, and Jose Caballero will come up. Barrios' pitch is off the handle, looping into center field, a base hit. Not the hardest hit ball, but the Rays will take it. Barrios had retired 6 in a row before that 2-out single.
Yeah, good pitch from Barrios. Fastball, 95 miles an hour, in on the hands. Caballero just kind of fists it out into left center.
That extends the 5th inning for Rene Pinto, a guy who's about to get a big workload increase this year. Tabbed as the lead catcher for the Rays after playing just 38 regular season games last year. Barrios from the stretch. Swing and a miss. Runner goes, and the throw not in time. Kevin Biggio looking toward the dugout like maybe they take a look at it. The throw tailed a little bit late, but Biggio picked it while sliding and still tagged the runner.
That was an incredible play from Biggio. A throw that was pretty far offline from Alejandro Kirk on the second base side of the bag, and Biggio makes a pick, and it kind of tags his foot as Caballero is sliding headfirst into second base.
And the Blue Jays, I believe, are going to take a look at this one. Biggio's tag went into the right leg of Siri, so it looked like he had hit his Biggio's tag in his feet. But I think Biggio made that sweep in one quick motion so well that he might have got him there.
No, watching the replay, he's out. He's out at second base for sure. A terrible throw from Alejandro Kirk, but an incredible scoop from Cavan Biggio and tag. I don't think he meant to tag him. I think the short hop just kind of took him there.
Call on the field is safe, so they do need conclusive evidence here. Indisputable.
I see it indisputable. I could be wrong, but I see it disputable.
Call on the field is overturned. Runner's out. Toronto retains their challenge.
First caught stealing this year for Alejandro Kirk on a great play by Cavan Biggio. Helps Jose Barrios face the minimum in the bottom of the fifth. We head to the sixth in a pitcher's duel. It's 1-1, Blue Jays and Rays. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Which Looney Dogger are you? The fork and knifer, splatterer, condiment queen, or Big Dipper? This season at Rogers Center, every Tuesday home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. You will have the opportunity to purchase $1 hot dogs from various concession stands around the stadium. Then show the world your Looney Dog style. Because whether you're the mustard maven or ketchup king, no Blue Jays game is complete without hot dogs. So don't miss out on this deal. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's, every Tuesday home game.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important news bulletin. Desjardins Insurance was spotted downtown helping everyone in its path. Unpredictable weather, fallen tree branches, wayward baseballs flying towards second-story windows. Desjardins Insurance is helping Canadians through it all. Is there nothing this large and friendly ally won't do for neighbors in need? Never before have we seen insurance with a heart so big it shows.
Desjardins Insurance, home and auto. Learn more at desjardins.com/heart.
This is Jose Barrios, and you're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's the sixth inning, brought to you by Desjardins Insurance, helping Canadians through it all. Desjardins Insurance, insurance with a heart so big it shows. Visit desjardins.com/heart today. Zach Eflin starts Isaiah Kiner-Falefa off with a strike, and we are underway in the top of the sixth. 1-1 game, Blue Jays and Rays. Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue. Eflin steps back and fires. Missed low. 1-1. For Kiner-Falefa, he's playing on his third team of his major league career. The 1-1. He chops it foul. 1-2. Started and played 4 seasons with the Texas Rangers. Traded to Minnesota and then to the Yankees in the span of about 30 hours. A couple off seasons ago, played 2 years with New York, never appeared for Minnesota. The 1-2, outside, 2-2. And now playing with the Blue Jays. A versatile guy who figures to play a lot at third, but has played almost every position on the diamond. 2-2 pitch. And he reaches and rolls it softly to third. Charging in Paredes, takes it out of the glove, and just beats Kiner-Falefa for the first out.
Yeah, Paredes with another good play over there, charging in, this time making the play with his glove, not the bare hand, and just getting IKF over there at first base.
IKF's got some speed, so he had to work quickly there for the first out.
Yeah, that Alejandro Kirk play was a little easier.
A little bit more time. Here's Cavan Biggio now. First pitch to the left-handed hitter is outside, ball 1. Biggio with the great pick and then tag to catch Jose Caballero stealing at the end of the bottom of the fifth. 1-0 pitch is hit hard to right field. Backing up Palacios. He leaps at the wall. It's out of here. Home run, Cavan Biggio, and the Blue Jays lead for the first time this season. 2-1 Toronto.
And just like that, he makes an incredible play the inning prior, and then he comes up and hits that homer there. I've said this a million times, but Cavan Biggio, if he gets a chance to be an everyday big leaguer, he will be a productive member of this team. He just needs to get a chance, an everyday chance. He is a very solid player.
First pitch to George Springer, hooked on the ground to short. Long throw for Caballero. 2 down. Well, Biggio started 78 games last year, most of those in the back half of the season, and that's when he broke out and really helped cement his spot as the opening day second baseman for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, he puts a great swing on that ball. It was a slider down and in from Zach Eflin, and he just puts a great swing on it.
First pitch to Vladdy, inside, 1-0. The Blue Jays have 2 hits, yet they have 2 runs. They're up 2-1 on a pair of solo shots in the top of the 6th. 2 outs, nobody on for Guerrero. The 1-0. Outside, ball 2. Vladdy is grounded out to first and flied out to right. 2-0 from Eflin. Chopper foul to the left side, 2-1. That one tight-roped the line for a moment, but was caught just wide of it by the third baseman Paredes. Vladdy slightly open in his stance. Here's the 2-1 from Eflin. And it's hammered to center field. Siri in a jog. He'll watch it sail over the wall. A moonshot for Guerrero. 3-1 Blue Jays. He got all of that and then some. Guerrero's first homer of the year goes 450 feet to dead center.
And he uses the big part of the field. That's the best part about this swing from Guerrero. He didn't try to pull that slider on the outer third. He just goes with it and demolishes it to center field.
Dancing with George Springer in the dugout after that one. A second homer of the inning for the Blue Jays. The pitch to Bo Bichette's outside, ball 1. It's now 3-1 Toronto with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the 6th. Here's the 1-0. Bichette loses his helmet and stumbles as he pounds it into the ground foul. 1-1.
And that was a pretty swing from Guerrero. Just watching the replay. Oh, that's got to feel good for him. Who does it feel better for, Springer or Guerrero?
I think Guerrero. I mean, Springer's proven a lot in his career already. The 1-1. Bichette hits a high bouncer deep at second, fielded by Lau, but his throw will bounce 4 times and does not beat Bichette. Bo is safe at first on an infield single. Lau and his defense had to go into shallow center field to get that one. And the Blue Jays have their first hit that isn't a homer in this game. It's an infield single to extend the top of the 6th.
Yeah, that was a tough play for Lau going up the middle. He's not going to get Bo Bichette running down the line there. Bo's got some speed. He had to throw across his body back over to first base. No chance.
Bo showed his speed with a couple stolen bases in the spring. We'll see if he thinks about it with Justin Turner up. The first pitch. Turner hits a foul ball, 0-1.
I bet JT wants to get invited to this party.
Justin Turner has hit 27 home runs a couple times in his career. Hit some big home runs in the spring as well. The 0-1. Swing and a miss by Turner. 0-2. For Bo Bichette, the runner at first, he stole only 5 bases last year, but had 13 the year before that. And in 2021, he had 25 in 26 attempts. Shuffling his feet as he extends his lead. Here's the 0-2. It hit Turner in the hand. Are they going to say that's foul? That looked like it definitely hit Turner, and they will award him first base. John Schneider coming out to check on Justin Turner, with Jose Ministral, the Blue Jays trainer, as well. And that's not how Justin Turner wanted to get on base for the first time as a Blue Jay. That one glanced off of his right hand, the top hand on his bat.
Either way, whether he gets awarded first base or not, a scary situation for Toronto. You can see on that replay, hits him right on the right fingers, and he's in some pain right now. Luckily for him, it just kind of glanced off his hand. It didn't hit him square. It's still a scary situation.
It hit a different part of the hand, but doesn't look dissimilar to the play that has Danny Jansen on the injured list right now. Turner started his swing, and that exposed his hands a little bit as he tried to pull up. They did award him a hit by pitch, by the way, but he's still getting this checked on right now by Jose Ministral.
Yeah, hit him kind of in the knuckle area.
I can't tell if that's middle finger or index finger.
That's gotta hurt.
Turner entering his 16th Major League season. Blue Jays have Ernie Clement, Davis Schneider, Brian Servin, and Daniel Vogelback on the bench should they need someone, but they won't. Turner pulsing that hand right now, extending his fingers out, is going to jog down to first base. Good to see that he's okay to stay in the game. And the Blue Jays have now put 3 on in a row. The home run, then the single, then the hit batter. And Dalton Varsho has a chance to drive in some runs here. It's first and second with 2 outs.
I think the biggest thing for Dalton right here is he can't try to do too much. Again, he's trying to lay off that pitch on the outer third of the plate. He needs to drive that pitch to the left center gap.
First pitch to the left-handed hitter. High ball 1. Last year's opening day, Blue Jays in St. Louis take it on the Cardinals. Varsho drove in a pair on a double in Toronto's 10-9 win. The 1-0. Inside ball 2. This year, in the opener of spring, Varsho drove in 3 runs, including driving in a pair on a single when he first came to the plate. The 2-0. High ball 3. Eflin has fallen behind Varsho here and put him in a position where he can potentially try and drive in some runs with a big swing.
I think you give him the green light here. Zach Eflin will come with a fastball. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure he'll come with a fastball here, and Dalton has some power.
The 3-0. Tried to float the breaking ball in there and missed.
I was wrong.
Maybe he should have gone with the fastball. Instead, it's ball 4. His walk loads the bases now for Alejandro Kirk. But first, Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach, is going to go out and talk to Eflin, who has thrown a lot of pitches this inning. He was really pitch efficient to start the game, but he's had to face 6 different batters, 7, giving up 2 home runs, and then the poor luck of an infield single. He hit a batter and walked a batter.
Yeah, Eflin's looked like a different guy here in the top of the 6th. He's thrown a lot of pitches, a lot of balls. His slider is kind of just spinning up there. It doesn't have the bite that it had early on. The Blue Jays need to capitalize right here.
22 pitches in the frame, only 77 thrown overall. It's the top of the 6th inning, and after the Biggio and Guerrero home runs, it's 3-1 for the Blue Jays over the Rays. Bases loaded, 2 down. Here comes Alejandro Kirk, who drove in 43 runs last season. They shift him to the pull side slightly. Eflin's pitch. Called strike 1. Kirk asking about that one. Talking to home plate umpire Todd Tishner, kind of leaned his head to the side like he thought that might have been high. Here's the 0-1. Kirk lines a ball up the middle. It's a base hit into center field. 1 run comes in to score. Turner getting the wave. He'll score as well. And the Blue Jays have played it 4 in the inning. Kirk's 2-run single makes it 5-1.
And Kirk puts a great swing on that curveball that was middle. He didn't try to do too much. He just hit it right back up the middle. Good swing from Alejandro. That's got to feel good for him as well.
First hit of the season for Kirk, driving in Bichette and Turner for his first 2 RBIs. Dalton Varsho had to stop at second on the play. But it's first and second now for the Blue Jays, who send their 9th batter to the plate this inning. Kevin Kiermaier watches strike 1. The Blue Jays had very little going on offensively until this top of the 6th inning. They had 1 run on a Springer solo home run. They have 4 hits in this inning, and they've scored 4 runs. The 0-1 to Kiermaier. Hit hard on the ground through the hole on the left side. Varsho coming around third. He will score, and it's 6-1 Blue Jays. Rays fans getting uneasy here as the Blue Jays have put up a 5 spot in the 6th.
And you're seeing just a little glimpse of what this offense can do if everybody's clicking at the same time. Everybody's swinging at good pitches. Nobody's trying to do too much. If Zach Eflin throws something down the middle of the plate, of course you try to hit that ball out of the yard, but everybody's putting good swings right now on that ball.
Zach Eflin's day is done after that Kevin Kiermaier single and 5 runs in the 6th. He comes out of the game. It's 6-1 Blue Jays, top of the 6th with 2 down. Let's go to baseball control. Here's Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. Let's check out the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Devilishly good since Toronto first raised the trophy in 1992. Join them for wings, ribs, beer, cocktails, and catch every play at your local St. Louis Bar and Grill. Download the app or visit stlouiswings.com for more details. Always devilishly good. Hey, you guys want to hear the first home run of opening day? Let's head to Baltimore for Angels at Orioles.
There's a fly ball to left center field by Trout. Sitting back, Hayes near the wall. That ball is gone. Mike Trout has hit the first home run of the season. He takes Corbin Burns deep, and the Angels have a 1-0 start on opening day.
It does feel somewhat appropriate that opening day starts with a Mike Trout bomb. Having said that, the Orioles now are up 11-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Anthony Santander, Jordan Westberg, Adley Rutschman, Cedric Mullins, Ryan Mountcastle, all getting in on the scoring action. Some other scores around Major League Baseball right now. The Astros lead the Yankees 4-1. Chas McCormick, Yenier Diaz with singles. Red Sox at Mariners. That game is going to get going at 10:10 p.m. Eastern, 7:10 p.m. Pacific. Brian Bayo, Luis Castillo will start for those 2 teams. Boston and Seattle will be on Sportsnet 1 later tonight. All right, let's get you back to the action. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you, Show. The Blue Jays with 5 runs here, 4 of them coming with 2 outs in the 6th inning, have knocked Zach Eflin out of this game. Sean Armstrong to come on here with runners on first and second, 2 down, and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa up. But Chris, this flipped in a flash.
Well, Zach Eflin looked like a different guy. He was leaving a lot of pitches over the middle. His slider wasn't sliding. His curveball wasn't curving.
Here's the right-hander Armstrong's first pitch. It's low to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who actually led off this inning. It's 1-0.
And I think the best part about that is the Jays made him pay for that. They didn't let him off the hook. They didn't roll over fastballs. They used the big part of the field just like Vlad did.
1-0 from Armstrong is outside 2-0. Sean Armstrong is going to be a lot of sinker cutter. We'll mix in some 4-seamers and sliders as well. The 2-0, Kiner-Falefa gets it off the end of the bat, bounce to the mound, and an underhand flip to first by Armstrong to end the inning. The Blue Jays, though, score 5 runs on 5 hits. They leave a pair on and lead 6-1, middle of the 6th inning. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Celebrate the spirit of Easter on Sirius XM. Hear masses throughout the week on the Catholic Channel, including Easter Mass from Rome with His Holiness Pope Francis. Embrace the promise of hope on Joel Osteen Radio. You are full of resurrection power. And experience Easter from Israel on the Billy Graham Channel, where Jesus walked and talked. Plus, exclusive interviews, performances, and music for the occasion on the all-new Sirius XM app. Just search Christian.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win your fantasy leagues right now on Channel 87.
It's a home run for Ronald Acuna.
From in-season fantasy baseball management to daily fantasy basketball to getting you ready for the NFL Draft, Fantasy Sports Radio is here to help you dominate.
How you manage your team day in and day out will be the difference in where you finish in 2024.
Fantasy Sports Radio, your home for fantasy sports. Channel 87 and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on Sirius XM. We're back on the track Sunday,
6 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Toyota Owners 400
from Richmond Raceway.
Checker fly, baby. Yeah.
On Sirius XM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 in the car and on the all-new Sirius XM app. Get closer to everything that moves you wherever you are with the Sirius XM app.
Let's make some smoke and drink some beer. Yeah.
Blue Jays fans, after this game, get back to what's really important. Your fantasy football team. We're talking about it right now on Fantasy Sports Radio, Channel 87, and the Sirius XM app.
at Radio Network.
Get ready for the ultimate office escape. Leave work early and join us at Rogers Center on Wednesday, April 10th at 3:07 p.m. for the first Work From Dome Day and experience some afternoon baseball. Visit BlueJays.com/workfromdome to learn more and buy your tickets today. Jose Barrios' first pitch to Rene Pinto is inside ball one. Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue here for opening day. 6-1, the Blue Jays lead over the Rays after a 5-run top of the sixth. The 1-0 called strike. And Chris, that's got to be big for Jose Barrios, who's pitched either down 1-0 or in a tie game for the entire time. Now he's got a little bit of room to work with. Here's his 1-1. Inside, ball two.
Yeah, but he can't let his foot off the gas. He's been great all day. He's made 2 mistakes. One, obviously the changeup for the home run from Yandy Diaz, but he's looked incredible all day long.
2-1 pitch grounded foul, 2-2.
You can really see the difference between him and Zach Eflin. Zach Eflin was kind of floating through the whole game, and Jose Barrios looks like it's July.
Eflin knocked out with 2 outs in the top of the sixth. The 2-2 is hit high and deep to right field. Springer going back. He's looking up. That ball bounces on the track and hits the wall. He'll turn around and fire it back into the infield, but Pinto is safe at second with a double. Looks like that ball was a little bit awkward to read for Springer, because I thought he might have had a chance to go back there and make the catch on the track.
Yeah, it looked like he lost it just a little bit. He didn't know where the wall was. But even that double there, that was a great pitch from Jose Barrios. You could see the reaction. That was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball on the black on the outside part of the plate. Pinto kind of just goes with it. A good piece of hitting, but a great pitch. That's just unlucky.
So a runner in scoring position for Yandy Diaz, who's 2 for 2. The pitch. Off the end of the bat, a looper to right. Springer charging in. He dives and the ball bounces past him. Kiermaier picks it up behind him, but Pinto will come in to score. And Diaz is safe at second with a double. 1-2 deep and now 1-2 shallow in right field. And it's a 6-2 game off back-to-back doubles.
Yeah, I don't know if Springer should have dove for that one. He should have just kept the ball in front of him, kept runners on first and second, keep the double play in order. But again, I sound like a broken record, but that was a good pitch from Jose Barrios, a slider as he laughs, kind of in disbelief right there. But that was a very good slider on the outside part of the plate, almost on the black. Rosarena hits it on the end of his bat, and Springer dives, doesn't really come close to it.
Pinto was waiting at second base, so the furthest he would have got was third. Instead, he scores, and now the pitch to Brandon Lau, popped up foul behind the plate. 0-1. So now it's 6-2 for the Blue Jays over the Rays. Tampa Bay striking back here and still with a chance to score with a runner on second and nobody out back half of the sixth. After this pitch, we'll go over to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard. First the 0-1. Change up down and away. Well, after Houston, like we had mentioned earlier, went up 4-0 on the Yankees, that game has gotten a whole lot closer. It's 4-3 now for Houston over New York, top of the 5th inning. Barrios is 1-1. Lau takes another changeup out of the zone. Framber Valdez had some control issues in the 5th inning, issued 3 walks and hit a batter. He's given up 3 in the inning. Juan Soto also had an RBI single. The Yankees still have the bases loaded with 2 down in the top of the 5th. Back at the Trop, Barrios looks to the plate and fires home. Missed down and in with the slurve, 3-1. All of our out-of-town scores again brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Barrios is 3-1. Fouled off of the glove of Kirk and back behind him. Full count. Another game we haven't touched on the St. Louis Bar and Grill Out of Town scoreboard involves a former Yankee, Frankie Montas, has pitched 5 scoreless innings for Cincinnati against Washington. 7-0 the Reds lead after 5 innings. The 3-2. Outside ball 4. Barrios upset with that one. Turning away from the plate after he delivered the pitch. That's his first walk of the day.
And this is where Barrios really has to bear down. I don't know if he's going to get the chance. He will get the chance, but he needs to make good pitches here. This thing can get out of hand in a hurry.
Pete Walker and the entire infield on the mound right now. Kind of a tough start to this inning for Barrios. A double by Rene Pinto. That one was hit pretty deep. Who knows? It looked like Springer got a little crossed up on it, but it might have been a double regardless. But then a looper off the end of the bat for Yandy Diaz with Pinto on second. Springer goes for the diving catch, and it ends up bouncing and going past him. So not only does Pinto score, but Diaz ends up on second. Now he's walked Brandon Lau, and Randy Arozarena is coming up. The guy who led the Rays in RBIs last year, second with 83. Jimmy Garcia getting loose for the Blue Jays right now. First and second, nobody out, bottom of the 6th. The right-on-right pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1. Pitch count up to 83 for Jose Barrios, and pitch counts monitored a lot more at the beginning of the season. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Challenged him with a fastball over the heart of the plate, and Arozarena swung through it.
Yeah, you can see even at pitch 84, he's still got a lot of life and a lot of velo on that fastball. Arozarena swings right through that fastball.
He's retired him twice today. The 1-1. Breaking ball and a good block by Kirk to keep both the runners at their positions. It's Diaz on second, Lau on first. The infielder shifting to the left side, the pull side for Arozarena. The 2-1. Missed a little bit low with the fastball. It's 3-1. And unless things turn around, and even if they do, this could be Jose Barrios' final batter.
Yeah, you don't want to lose him here, but you also don't want to throw him a cookie. Arozarena can go deep in a hurry. This game can change quickly. You still have to make a very good pitch here.
The 3-1. A looper to center. Kiermaier camped under it, charging in, makes the catch and fires it over to third, although Diaz, his former teammate, wasn't even thinking about advancing. So a good recovery there from Barrios, and finally the first out of the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, he's not out of the woods yet, though. 1 out. Still got some good hitters coming up behind Arozarena. Has to make good pitches. Most importantly, he needs to get ahead of these hitters.
He's got a tough contact hitter up right now in Harold Ramirez. .313 hitter last year. On base plus slugging above 800. Drove in 68 runs. The right-on-right pitch. Ground ball to third off the chest of Kiner Falefa. Picks it up, slings to first in time, and recovers to get the out. Couldn't get the double play ball there. Both the runners advanced. Diaz up to third and Lau up to second, but IKF salvages that one for the second out.
That was actually a very good play from IKF. That was a tough hop, and he kind of just took it in the chest. A lot of third basemen wouldn't do that, or a lot of infielders wouldn't do that.
Yeah, actually, that one jumped up on him. He almost looked like a catcher or a hockey goalie. And Barrios turned and pounded his fist into his glove in support of IKF after that one. Second and third, and Isak Paredes grounds the first pitch he sees foul, 0-1. 6-2 Blue Jays. Rays have scored 1 this inning and have 2 in scoring position with 2 down.
And now you can be a little bit more careful. You have that base open at first base. You're ahead in the count. Don't throw anything down the middle. That's what I'm saying to myself.
The 0-1. Outside 1-1. And this represents a bit of a changing point in the lineup. After Paredes, you get to Richie Palacios. Paredes hit 31 homers last year. Richie Palacios played 32 games in the major leagues last year. The 1-1. Hard hit ball, snared at short by Bichette. He spins, throws to first, stretch into the splits by Vladdy, and the inning is over. After 2 doubles to start the inning, Jose Barrios limits it to 1 run on 2 hits, strands a pair, and keeps the Blue Jays on top. 6-2 Toronto going to the 7th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center, a solid neighbor to call upon when you've got a job to do. Your dependable home improvement store that offers the added value of Air Miles reward miles with every purchase of $15 or more. Visit timbermart.ca.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
The Blue Jays are inviting you to work from Dome. Put it in your calendar. 307 weekday starts this season. You can work from Dome with friends or coworkers at Rogers Center. It's a game changer. Make the ballpark your office for the afternoon. Work from Dome, 307 weekday starts. Let's touch base. Check out ticket options on bluejays.com/workfromdome.
Timber Mart always has plans to help you with your plans. Your home, your cottage, your garage, whatever needs your attention first, check the most visited spot on our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's Building Center. Visit timbermart.ca.
Hey, this is Bo Bichette. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
What's up, dude? Top of the 7th inning at Tropicana Field. The Blue Jays up 6-2. Sean Armstrong back out for the Rays. Finished the 6th with the final out of the top of the 6th. His first pitch to Kevin Biggio slides low and in for ball 1. Welcome back to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue. Here's the 1-0. Downstairs 2-0. We just had a Jeff Blair sighting. You'll hear him and Kevin Barker coming up after the game. (2-0) to Biggio. Checked his swing on called strike 1.
And you can see even on a 2-0 count, when a lot of hitters can get big and they try to do too much in that count because they know it's a good hitter's count. That wasn't his pitch, so he didn't swing at it.
2-1 is upstairs, 3-1.
Even though it was a strike. Kevin Biggio is one of my favorite players to watch. He's one of the most patient hitters in the big leagues. He gets a chance, I'm telling you, he'll be good.
He homered last inning. The 3-1. Called strike 2. It got lost a little bit in the rally that the Blue Jays put up. They scored 5 in the inning, but Biggio's homer started that, gave the Blue Jays a 2-1 lead. They're now up 6-2. Full count, bases empty, the pitch. Inside, ball 4, a leadoff walk for Biggio. And it's interesting, he had hit 7, 5 at times last year. They've moved him down, Kiermaier up. So Biggio, a guy with a good eye, like you said, is in that quote-unquote second leadoff spot to get on base before a guy like George Springer coming up.
Yeah, I think that him in the 9-hole there is a perfect spot for him.
Springer 1 for 3 with a solo homer. Slide step from Kittredge, and the pitch is low. 1-0. Sunday, April 14th marks the first Junior Jays of the season. Junior Jays opening day. Bring the whole family to the ballpark for a day packed with excitement. Enjoy games, prizes, artists, and much more. 1-0 to Springer. Inside, and it scoots away from the catcher. Pinto hit his glove in the air, but he couldn't corral it. Biggio up to second. On Junior J's opening day, be sure to stick around for post-game where kids 14 and under can run the bases. Don't miss out on this unforgettable experience. Head to bluejays.com/juniorjays to get your tickets today. Not sure if they'll go wild pitch or pass ball for that one. We'll update that in a second. First, the 2-0 to Springer is fouled back, 2-1. They go wild pitch. Although it didn't bounce, it came in a lot on Springer. Pinto had to reach over to his glove side. So runner on second, nobody out. Armstrong staring at Biggio, directs his attention to Springer, fires home, and misses low, 3-1. Kittredge has not thrown many strikes so far in this outing, despite getting the out to finish the sixth. The 3-1, way down and away, ball 4. It was a 2-0 pitch that Sean Armstrong threw to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Armstrong, the reliever, who finished the sixth. That got the ground out. Then he walked Biggio on a 3-2. Now he walks Springer on a 3-1. He's thrown far more balls than strikes.
Yeah, I'm sure the Rays won't leave him in this ball game for very much longer.
They leave him in for Guerrero, though, with first and second and nobody out. The pitch. Called strike one at the bottom of the zone.
And a very good sign for this Blue Jays team. Justin Turner has a batting helmet on.
Turner hit by a pitch in the right hand in the sixth inning. Did run the bases and come around to score on the Alejandro Kirk RBI single. The 0-1. Swing and a miss and a back pick to first. Springer dives back safely. He got a little tangled up there with Yandy Diaz. Now he's up to his feet. Thought I saw a grimace from Springer for a moment, but he appears to be okay. He's back on his feet now.
He was a little slow to get up. I was wondering what happened over there. It looked like he might have slid into Yandy Diaz's right foot. Actually, he did. That's probably what the grimace was from.
And Kevin Biggio took a huge secondary. Springer thought it was a double steal. That's why he had to scramble back. The 0-2. Guerrero fouls back a fastball. He also had to slide right into the feet of Diaz. And MLB is talking about enforcing the obstruction rules a little bit more with base runners getting blocked on the base paths. The 0-2 is high, 1-2 by non-catchers at first, second, and third. They're not introducing a new rule. They had a whole rules call, as they do at the start of every year. And basically there's no new rule, but there's a rule about obstructing guys from getting to bases that has never really been enforced in 100 years of baseball that they want to enforce now. 1-2 to Guerrero. He waves over a slider. And he's the first out of the inning on a swinging strikeout.
But just to be clear, Yandy Diaz didn't purposely try to block first base.
No, not at all.
Kind of just got tangled up there.
And one of the important parts of the rule is that if the throw takes you to a spot, which I think it did there with Diaz, then they're not going to call it. It's when you put your leg down flat or something like that to block a back. First pitch to Bo Bichette, called strike one. First and second, one out, 6-2 Blue Jays, top of the seventh. Next pitch to Bichette. Fouled off the handle, 0-2. Bo had an infield single that he legged out. He hit a chopper up the middle in that sixth inning. Came around to score on Kirk's single. Two-strike offering. Bichette lines it to right, and it lands just foul. Probably 6 to 8 feet away from being extra bases for Bo Bichette. Instead, he's still in that 0-2 hole.
Yeah, Bo is so good at going with that pitch on the outside part of the plate. He just kind of sticks his bat out. Makes pretty good contact, lines it down the line. It was fouled by about 5 feet. Doesn't even move his feet. That's what I love about him and his two-strike approach. His feet stay planted in the dirt.
He's just got such a quick bat. His 77 opposite field hits last year led Major League Baseball. He's got a hole on that right side of the infield. The 0-2 popped up, first base side, foul territory. Diaz near the netting, and now he slows up and watches it as a fan makes a great catch in the stands. It's not a Savannah Bananas game, so that's not an out. But that guy went back and looked like almost over a row to make the play, landing on another fan. He's getting high fives in the crowd. He deserves it.
He did. That was
a heck of a play.
That was a great play, especially with other people fighting with him.
Still 0-2 against Bichette, the pitch. Line drive to left, fair ball, bouncing into the corner. Biggio will score easily. Springer getting the wave behind him. The relay to the plate, late. Springer dives in safely head first, and it's 8-2 Blue Jays on an RBI double by Bo Bichette.
And Bo fought off 2 or 3 really good 2-strike pitches from Armstrong. And then he got his pitch. He got a slider that was up about belt high, right in the middle of the plate, and he does not miss it. That's what good hitters do. They fight off tough pitches, and then when they get their pitch, they don't miss it, and Bo did it right there.
First 2 RBIs for Bichette, a guy who knocked in 73 last season. Blue Jays have scored 7 runs between the 6th and 7th. And Sean Armstrong still in some trouble here. There's only 1 out, and Justin Turner is coming to the plate. Armstrong from the extreme first base side of the rubber deals home. Turner pops it up. Shallow left center. Caballero sprinting out the shortstop. He's called off by the left fielder Rosarena, who squeezes it for the second out.
Well, the only thing I was looking for during that at-bat, does Justin Turner look healthy? In the previous at-bat, he was hit by a fastball in the hand. We know how sensitive and fragile the hand bones are, a la Jansen. So the fact that Justin Turner can make a full swing and not grimace, I'm okay with that.
Here's Dalton Varsho. First pitch he sees is popped up, foul out of play, 0-1. The Blue Jays talked a lot about a collective approach in the spring, helping, kind of some of the cliches, pass the baton, but they want to do it. Help other guys out with the plate appearances you take, see pitches. The 0-1. Varsho fouls it off again, 0-2. And you could say Dalton Varsho did that in the 6th. He did not expand and took a walk that at the time loaded the bases for the Blue Jays with 2 outs. And then you got the big hits from Kirk and Kiermaier to drive in 3 more runs. Oh-2. Varsho hits a towering fly ball foul to right. Still 0-2.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's a little bit cliche to say pass the baton, but it kind of makes sense. I think if you're trying to do too much as a hitter, you're probably going to get out. So if you can just pass the baton, I hate saying that, but if you can just pass the baton like Varsho did, the offense is better for it.
Swing and a miss on an elevated heater. Varsho strikes out to end the inning, but the Blue Jays score 2 more runs on Bo Bichette's 2-run double. It's 8-2 Toronto. And it's the 7th inning stretch. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Everyone dreams of owning their own personal slice of heaven. Now you can, thanks to Fixed Rate Pizza by Pizza Pizza. Until the end of 2024, lock into an extra-large 4-topping pizza at a fixed price of $17.99. No matter how bad food prices get this year, your pizza price stays. So why not say no to surge pricing and yes to fixed-rate pizza? Order now from Pizza Pizza.
Order pizzapizza.ca.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important news bulletin. Desjardins Insurance was spotted downtown helping everyone in its path. Unpredictable weather, fallen tree branches, wayward baseballs flying towards second-story windows. Desjardins Insurance is helping Canadians through it all. Is there nothing this large and friendly ally won't do for neighbors in need? Never before have we seen insurance with a heart so big it shows.
Desjardins Insurance, home and auto. Learn more at desjardins.com/heart.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
A drive to deep center field. Trout at the wall and watches it sail.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bottom of the 7th inning in Tampa Bay. The Blue Jays with a pitching change. Former Ray Trevor Richards is on the mound for Toronto, trying to protect this 8-2 lead. Blue Jays adding 2 runs on in the front half of the 7th on a Bo Bichette double. And they're going to reset the clock. And now we're ready to go here in the bottom of the 7th. Richards' first pitch is a fastball for strike 1. That closes the book on Jose Barrios, who was fantastic today for the Blue Jays as the opener. The 0-1. High and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. One from Richards. Looping changeup swung over for strike 2.
Yeah, that's a good sign. There's that really good changeup. Not the floating changeup. That's more of the split finger, really, really good late action changeup.
1-2. Another change, and Palacios bent his knees down to hold himself from swinging. He was really fighting it there, but he did, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, Palacios probably hasn't seen a changeup that good ever.
I mean, like you said, it looks like a splitter. It's a changeup grip, but it's got huge break. 2-2 fastball, sailed high and outside, 3-2.
And then, of course, he throws that 91 to 93 mile an hour fastball that plays way up. I'm sure it's coming in at what feels like 95, 96.
Payoff pitch, changeup fouled back. Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue here. And for Richards, he's throwing that changeup even slower so far, at least in the spring and early in this outing, than he did last year. It's in the high 70s now. It was more 82, 83 last year. 3-2 pitch, fastball high, ball 4.
That's the last thing you want to do, of course, when your team puts up a couple runs, is walk the leadoff hitter.
Runner on first. Nobody out, bottom of the 7th. Jose Siri comes up against Trevor Richards. Interesting year last year for Richards. Had a couple different roles for the Blue Jays. First pitch to Siri. Changeup dropped in for strike 1. He started the year as kind of their second lefty, even though he's a righty. The changeup breaks away from left-handed hitters so effectively, he'd be the guy after Tim Meza. The 0-1 is a changeup low. Then, when the Blue Jays needed a 5th starter with Alek Manoah going down to the minors, he opened games for them in the middle of the season and pitched length, and then kind of stuck in a length role after that when Hyunjin Ryu came back and Genesis Cabrera was acquired to be the lefty. 1-1 fastball fouled off, 1-2.
Yeah, he had a lot of tough assignments. His job was a lot like Kevin Biggio on the offensive side, where he was just asked to do everything. I think I don't think people realize how difficult it is to start, to relieve, to be a right-handed lefty. And then you think about Kevin Biggio, play right field, play second base, hit once a day.
1-2 change inside.
Eventually, guys like that, they get tired. They get overworked. And Trevor Richards really struggled in the second half of the season because he was overworked.
He turns and throws to first. Palacios dives back. Richards had an ERA of almost exactly 4 in the first half, but over 6 in the second half. His 2-2. Called strike 3, froze him on another big changeup. That's the first out as Siri walks back to the dugout.
And that changeup was so good. It dropped so much that it looked like a curveball.
I mean, you could call it a splitter. You could call it a fork ball. It's just got outrageous movement. And that's why he was 100th percentile last year in the majors in chase rate. No one really did it better. Pitch to Jose Caballero. Called strike 1 with a fastball. Let's take a quick peek at the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard with the former Mariner, now Ray Caballero at the plate. 1 out, bottom of the 7th, 8-2 Blue Jays, and a runner on first. The 0-1, fastball low, a ball and a strike. That Houston-New York game is now tied. The Astros led 4-0 at one point, but Oswaldo Cabrera, utility player for the Yankees, hit a solo home run to tie it at 4th. The 1-1. Slice to the right side, foul. Over near the Rays dugout where left-hander Garrett Clevenger is getting up. So that Yankee-Houston game on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard is now 4-4, top of the 7th, and the Yankees are threatening after an Aaron Judge double. The 1-2. Looper to second, caught by Biggio. He'll just feint to throw over to first and toss it back to Richards. There are 2 down.
Yeah, that changeup right there kind of stayed over the middle of the plate, but had such good movement on it. I mean, every time he throws that pitch, he has a chance to get somebody out because it drops so much, and hitters just aren't used to that much of a discrepancy between the fastball and the changeup. It's about 13 miles an hour difference, which is a big gap.
First pitch to Rene Pinto, high ball 1. Last thing on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, Blue Jays and Rays playing here. The Yankees just mentioned that game. Baltimore just annihilating the Angels today, 11-3. The 1-0 popped up behind first, long run for Vladdy. Near the Rays bullpen, twist back to fair territory, or not quite there, but close, and makes a basket catch to end the inning. Nice play by Guerrero over the shoulder, and Richards strands the leadoff walk to keep the Blue Jays up 8-2 as we go to the 8th. Stick with us. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
They are among the greatest to ever play their sports.
Caitlin Clark is the all-time scoring leader.
They are legends and icons.
Larry Bird hit the shot with no second thought. I don't know how he did it.
And you can hear them right now on the all-new Sirius XM app.
We are here with Iowa superstar Caitlin Clark.
I'm so focused on winning, it's never anything I ever take for granted.
Here comes Larry Bird, the Hall of Famer, and you just won Legend of the Year.
Legend of the Year, isn't that something? For access to the game's greats, rely on the leader in sports audio, Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app.
The Women's NCAA Tournament is on Sirius XM.
It is going to be fun. It is going to be interesting.
For the best guests.
Dawn Staley.
I just want us to be who we've been.
And coverage of March Madness. Tune in to Sirius XM SEC Radio from the biggest stars.
Reese, put back is good. Nobody wants any part.
No part of it.
Of Angel Reese right now.
To the top teams. We've got you covered through the National Championship in Cleveland. It's all on Sirius XM SEC Radio, Channel 374, and the all-new Sirius XM app. March Madness is finally here.
The most magical of destinations.
For the best analysis.
That team is going to be a tough out.
And coverage of the ACC teams and the NCAA tournament. Tune in to Sirius XM ACC Radio. From the title contenders to the Cinderella teams, we've got you covered through the National Championship in Phoenix.
Holy smokes, what a play by R.J. Davis.
It's all on Sirius XM ACC Radio, Channel 371, and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Blue Jays fans, Sean Schneider joins MLB Network Radio every other Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern on Sirius XM 89 and the SXM app.
Radio Network.
Calling all hot dog lovers. Get ready for a mouth-watering experience on Tuesday, April 9th as Looney Dogs Night presented by Schneider's returns to Rogers Center. It's the ultimate challenge to see how many hot dogs Blue Jays fans can devour this year at every Tuesday night home game. Don't miss out on the action and join us in surpassing our record number of hot dogs eaten. Visit BlueJays.com/LooneyDogs to learn more and get your tickets today. 8-2 Blue Jays, top of the 8th. Left-hander Garrett Clevenger takes over for Tampa Bay, and his first pitch is a called strike against Alejandro Kirk. Kirk, Kiermaier, Kiner, Falefa, 2 up for the Blue Jays this inning. The 0-1. Breaking ball down and in, 1-1. For Clevenger, this is his first appearance since May 7th of last year. He just had such an unfortunate play. He was in a rundown trying to tag out and successfully tagging out Aaron Hicks. Here's the 1-1. Inside, 2-1. And in the process of doing that, tore his ACL and missed the rest of the season. So he only pitched 15 times last year. The 2-1. Outside, 3-1. But pitched well to an exact 3 ERA in 12 innings.
Yeah, that's why when you're in spring training and you're working on rundowns, you always want to get the ball out of the hands of the pitcher. The last thing you want to do is have a pitcher doing athletic things on the baseball field.
You said it, not me. The 3-1's way high and outside. Ball 4.
And that's not even really a joke. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get the ball out of the hands of the pitcher and let the infielders do the athletic things.
I mean, we saw, which inning? The 4th. A pop-up in the middle of the diamond. Jose Barrios is the reigning Gold Glove winner, and he moved out of the way for Guerrero to catch it. First pitch to Kevin Kiermaier's high ball 1. These two teammates in 2022. Although they didn't really play together much, Kiermaier injured that season for much of the year, and Clevenger acquired at the deadline. 1-0 from the southpaw is high and tight against left-handed hitting Kevin Kiermaier. 2-0. Clevenger shrugs his shoulders, kicks and delivers, and misses high and tight again. 3-0. He's thrown 7 balls and 1 strike so far.
Yeah, even though he's fallen behind 3-0, this is a tough AB for Kevin Kiermaier, a hard-throwing lefty against Kiermaier.
3-0 pitch. Fastball upstairs, ball 4.
And Kiermaier does a great job right there of not swinging at the balls, but normally, if this game was closer, you would probably see Davis Schneider in a situation like that. Lefty on righty.
But now you prioritize defense. Blue Jays up 8-2 here in the top of the 8th. And Kyle Snyder going to go talk to Garrett Clevenger.
Oh, of course. I'm not questioning the move. I'm just saying if the game was closer and the Blue Jays needed offense.
Yeah, John Schneider was asked before the game today, is he going to try and get in a lot of his bench guys early on? And he said, yeah, if it makes sense. We're not going to force people in there just to put a game on their stat sheet. But they do feel like between Vogelbach, Clement, Schneider, and then Servin, who's the other catcher, they have guys that they can use in different spots during the game. Vogelbach and Schneider probably for some power and offense. Clement can play a lot of spots defensively and also is as a contact option if the Blue Jays are looking for a single. So 2 on, nobody out, top of the 8th. Here's Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. The left on right pitch. In there, strike 1. A lot of fastballs so far for Garrett Clevenger. He threw in the limited sample about 50% sliders last year. His 0-1 is a fastball fouled back, 0-2.
It's actually pretty incredible to think a left-handed reliever who throws 95 to 97 miles an hour is throwing 50% sliders.
Yeah. He has 2 fastballs, which combine to be the rest of the 50%, the 4-seamer and the sinker. But he loves the slider. 0-2 pitch. Fastball fouled back, 0-2.
Yeah, you can see just how effective that fastball is. He gets in on IKF there. If I was a left-handed reliever throwing 97, I'd be throwing that heater.
It's pretty crazy to think, too. This is the 4th organization he's been a part of and 3rd major league team in just 4 seasons. With all that talent, here's his 0-2. Slider to the back foot, but IKF laid off. Clevenger was drafted by the Orioles out of Oregon in 2015 in the 3rd round. Traded to the Phillies in part of a Jeremy Hellickson deal. 1-2 pitch. Chopper up the middle. This could be 2. The second baseman Lau grabs it, steps on second base, throws over to first. It's a 4-3 double play. Kirk advances to 3rd, but now 2 down for the Blue Jays. Clevenger, after being traded to the Phillies, made just 1 appearance for them and then was part of a 3-team trade that actually involved the Rays, but he didn't go to the Rays at that point. He went to the Dodgers. Pitched pretty well for the Dodgers in a limited sample, and then they dealt him away at the 22 deadline to the Rays. He faces another left-handed hitter in Kevin Biggio. The pitch. Up and in, ball 1.
Nate Pearson is actually warming up in the bullpen right now. It's good to see him potentially get some action early on in the season, boost his confidence, especially in a game that not out of reach, but a little bit of a cushion.
1-0 slider lands, 1-1. It's an 8-2 Blue Jays lead. Runner on 3rd, 2 down. If you didn't see the Blue Jays when they finalized their roster, obviously not having right now Romano and Swanson available, Pearson and Wes Parsons made the back end of the bullpen. 1-1 is a swing and a miss on a fastball, 1-2. Pearson obviously provides super high upside. That fastball that is the hardest of anyone in the Blue Jays organization is pitched at the major league level. And Wes Parsons, a guy who made more starts for the Bisons than anyone last year and can provide them some length out of the bullpen should the Blue Jays need it. One-two to Biggio. Slider down and away. He lays off.
And good thing for Nate Pearson, because of his stuff, nobody will ever give up on him.
I mean, how could you when you see the fastball at 100? He's added a splitter this year. He's got great stuff. The 2-2. Slider in the exact same spot. Biggio again lays off, and he's worked a full count.
And because, like we've seen so often, guys like that can just figure it out overnight, and then they go on to have incredible careers, and the Blue Jays don't want to be the team that let him go.
Not to mention he was a first-round pick of the Blue Jays. Pearson getting loose, presumably for the bottom of the 8th and the top of the order. Runner on 3rd, 2 down. 3-2 to Biggio is high and outside, ball 4. That'll be a second walk for Kevin Biggio, who's 1 for 2 with a homer and 2 walks today. That's about as Kevin Biggio of a game as you can get. Big swings and walks is what he's trying to do.
And he looked so confident in that last at-bat. And even against a tough lefty in Clevenger, that was a tough at-bat for him, but he just looked so confident in that batter's box.
So runners on the corners with 2 outs for George Springer. Clevenger's already thrown 20 pitches this inning. His first to Springer. Inside, ball 1. And the command's been spotty throughout. He got a double play ball on the ground, but outside of that, 3 walks.
Yeah, he's a little rusty. You can tell that he hasn't been on a big league mound in a long time. Stuff is still there, though.
The 1-0. Fastball at 95, way too high, and it's 2-0. We'll see if Kevin Cash lets him get past Springer if Springer continues the inning, because Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is next. Next pitch to Springer inside 3-0, and I mean, he's not missing close. He's missing pretty far out of the zone.
Yeah, it's a situation where the game is relatively out of reach. You want to let a guy figure it out, especially a guy that was hurt for the majority of last year.
3-0 pitch at the top of the zone, strike 1.
And even that wasn't a good strike. That was about belt high at the top of the zone, almost a ball. You want to let him figure it out, but at the same time, you don't want to go down 10-2 and 12-2.
3-1 to Springer. Popped up behind the plate. The catcher Pinto sheds his mask and makes the catch on the first base side. to end the inning. 3 walks for the Blue Jays, but they do not score. They leave 2 on and lead 8-2 going to the back half of the 8th. Nate Pearson is on when we return. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Everyone dreams of owning their own personal slice of heaven. Now you can, thanks to Fixed Rate Pizza by Pizza Pizza. Until the end of 2024, lock into an extra-large 4-topping pizza at a fixed price of $17.99. No matter how bad food prices get this year, your pizza price stays. So why not say no to surge pricing and yes to fixed-rate pizza? Order now from Pizza Pizza.
Order pizzapizza.ca.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important news bulletin. Desjardins Insurance was spotted downtown helping everyone in its path. Unpredictable weather, fallen tree branches, wayward baseballs flying towards second-story windows. Desjardins Insurance is helping Canadians through it all. Is there nothing this large and friendly ally won't do for neighbors in need? Never before have we seen insurance with a heart so big it shows.
Desjardins Insurance, home and auto. Learn more at desjardins.com/heart.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Bases loaded. The 0-2 swung on and missed. Strike 3.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership or the Sportsnet Radio Network. Bottom of the 8th inning, 8-2 Blue Jays. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue, and Nate Pearson is on for Toronto. He faces the top of the order. The first pitch to Yandy Diaz is swung on and missed. Strike 1. Well, even though the Rays have been up against it for the last couple innings, Diaz has had a great game. He's a triple away from the cycle. He has a single, a double, and a homer so far. The 0-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. 1-1. It's fastball, curveball, splitter for Pearson, who was working on that split all spring. Fastball is in the high to mid-90s. Curveball in the low 80s. The split somewhere in the middle. The 1-1. Elevated fastball for a ball. 2-1.
Yeah, and like we were talking about last inning, he has the potential to be a guy in the back of the bullpen. I think the Blue Jays know that. Everybody in Major League Baseball knows that. He just needs to get ahead and gain some confidence.
His next pitch is fouled off to make it 2-2. I mean, it's fairly simple. Command has been the thing that has prevented him. Obviously, before last year, injuries were mostly the thing that prevented him from getting to the potential that a lot of people see. But last year, he walked 4 batters per 9. Just allowed too many free passes. The 2-2 is a 99-mile-per-hour heater lifted to right. Springer back on the track, extends his left arm and makes the catch for the first out. Diaz finally set down, although he teased another home run there.
Yeah, Springer almost had his back against that wall in right field. But Pearson with a good fastball at 99 miles an hour. Yandy just kind of sticks the bat out at it. Didn't really give a full swing, but I think if you're Pearson, you have to take that.
Absolutely. Gets the first out of his first appearance of the season. Pitch to Brandon Lau is a liner up the middle over the leap of Bichette for a base hit. Pearson appeared in 35 games for the Blue Jays last year. A 4.85 ERA, 43 strikeouts and 18 walks in 42 2/3 innings. And it really kind of all happened at once. His first 17 appearances, he had a sub-2 ERA. But then in Texas and Miami, he gave up 3 runs and 5 runs in combined 1 inning of work in back-to-back appearances. First pitch to Randy Arozarena is a slider for ball one.
Yeah, I think the game just tends to speed up on him. If nobody's on base, I think he's in the clear, and he kind of slows the game down.
1-0 slider for strike one.
But as soon as somebody gets on base, he tries to be too quick to the plate. The arm sort of drags. He leaves that fastball, sometimes that slider out over the middle of the plate, and that's when hitters do damage.
Here's 1-1. A third successive slider for strike two. And for Pearson, so I said those first 17 appearances, sub-2 ERA. He only had 5 walks. Starting with those 2 tough ones, in 18 appearances, he walked 13 guys and had an ERA north of 8. Next pitch is a curveball, spiked. Rosarena lays off. It's 2-2. 8-2 Blue Jays, bottom of the 8th. 1 out, and Brandon Lau on first. Randy Arozarena's been quiet so far in this game. A strikeout, a ground out, and a flyout. The 2-2. Called strike 3. Beat him with a 97-mile-per-hour fastball. There are 2 down.
Yeah, you could see just how frustrated Arozarena was. He knew exactly where that ball was. 97 miles an hour on the black on the inside part of the plate. Even if Arozarena swung at that ball, he has no chance.
And do you think with all those sliders that were breaking from the inside to the outside before that fastball, he was kind of setting him up for that pitch?
Oh, yeah.
First pitch, Harold Ramirez swings at one that bounces way away from the plate and goes all the way to the backstop. So it's strike one, but Brandon Lau will advance on the wild pitch. That breaking ball was way down and away.
Well, Harold Ramirez was clearly guessing fastball first pitch there. Just like Arozarena was probably guessing slider away.
That bounced in the opposite batter's box from the right-handed hitter.
Yeah, he had no chance.
So a runner on second now with 2 down. And the 0-1. Swing and a miss on a curveball. Slowed it down even more on him. And it's 0-2.
And I would love for Pearson to come back with a fastball up around the letters. Harold Ramirez, good luck with that, buddy.
Pearson in the set. Glove pressed up to his chest. Peeks at the runner at second and fires home. Went with another breaking ball that bounces off Kirk up the first baseline, but he scrambles after it, and Lau will stay at second.
And 0-2, that's the only other option. You bounce a slider, but you could see that Harold Ramirez was nervous either way.
Well, you got a lot of bad options for Ramirez right now. Down in the count to Nate Pearson. The righty's 1-2. Swing and a miss, or no, foul tipped, and it pops out of the glove of Kirk. They were actually looking for the elevated fastball. Kirk stood up, but that one was down and away, and Kirk couldn't squeeze it when he reached down.
Yeah, before Pearson actually threw that pitch, Alejandro was pointing to his helmet like, be smart, don't leave one over the middle of the plate. Pearson, he missed his spot, but it wasn't over the middle of the plate.
1-2 is a breaking ball bounced in front of the plate, but Kirk takes it off the chest, and again Lau will remain at second. Blue Jays up 8-2. 2 down, runner in scoring position, and a 2-2 count in the bottom of the 8th. The 6'6 righty peeks at second twice and delivers home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him on the slider. Pearson strikes out 2 in a row to end a scoreless bottom of the 8th. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on for the Rays. And we head to the 9th with Toronto up 8-2 at the Trop. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Wow, this is a moment for me.
From 70s disco divas to today's viral sensations.
Hey, it's Kylie Minogue. To celebrate Women's History Month, I'll be spotlighting my career as well as the iconic ladies of dance music.
SiriusXM's Women of Dance.
Hosted by me.
For a limited time on Channel 107 and year-round on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too. This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your Sirius XM subscription?
What?
Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on Sirius XM Channel 89. Or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. Sirius XM Sports. We're more than just a game. The most important person in sports is you, the fan.
Let me tell you something. I'm a real fan.
And your place for sports talk is Mad Dog Sports Radio, where your voice is heard all day long.
I couldn't wait to get into the truck, turn on 82.
Share the thrill of victory.
The joy, the jubilation. I can't stop smiling.
And the agony of defeat.
When is this franchise going to realize people really care about this?
Passionate sports fans call 888-MAD-DOG-6.
You gotta love sports.
Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82, or anytime on the Sirius XM app.
Hi, this is Mike Tirico. Masters Radio returns Monday, April 8th on Channel 92 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
Network. Ninth inning at Tropicana Field, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. leads off against a new Rays pitcher. It's Phil Maton, the former Astro, making his first appearance as a Ray. Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. The right-hander's first pitch to Guerrero outside 1-0. Vladdy's 1 for 4 today with a solo home run that he hit 450 feet to center field. The next pitch by Guerrero is lifted to left center. Siri going back. He's at the track and he makes the catch. Vladdy's retired. But that 450-foot blast on the assist from Show Ali, by the way, the longest home run that he's hit since April 10th, 2022, when he hit a home run off Spencer Howard in the first series of that season. Vladdy with a bit of a wry smile there as he nearly got home run number 2.
Yeah, that ball got a little bit in on the hands. And when I say a little bit, I just mean a hair. He just missed that ball.
First pitch to Bo Bichette is sprayed to the right side, slicing foul, landing just behind the mound on the Rays bullpen down the right field line. 0-1. Bichette against Phil Maton, who spent the last 2.5 years with the Astros, was really important for them last season. 3 ERA and 68 appearances, and he bounces the next pitch to make it 1-1. Bo today 2 for 4 with a double, a run scored, and 2 RBIs. 1-1 for Maton. Swing and a miss. 1-2. On Valentine's Day this year, Maton signed a 1-year, $6.25 million deal with a club option worth almost $8 million for next year. His big breaking ball bounces again, and it's 2-2. He's got 2 breaking balls, a curveball and a sweeper. Also throws a 4-seamer. He's not going to throw harder than 90, but his 2 breaking balls play off each other really well.
Yeah, that's probably why it took so long to sign. Teams are in love with high velo, high spin rate guys.
Big breaking ball fouled back there to make it 2-2 again.
He's clearly not one of those guys. He's just a guy that goes out there and puts up good numbers every single year. That's just the way it is these days.
Especially, for relievers as opposed to starters. They're signing yearly deals almost all the time, even some of the top ones. The 2-2. Bounce the sweeper there, and it's a full count.
But even to sign so late, I mean, if you're signing February 14th.
Yeah, you kind of sign and hop on the plane.
Yeah, he's throwing bullpens at home. He's probably throwing live VPs at home and just waiting. I can almost guarantee that he didn't think that he would be in Tampa.
The 3-2 is a fastball low at 88, ball 4. Maton was a part of the 2022 World Series team, but broke his pinky in frustration while punching a locker and missed the entire playoff run. Obviously still got a ring, pitched north of 60 times for that team. Pitched for the Astros in the 21 and 23 playoffs as well. Right-hander slide steps and deals to Justin Turner, misses outside 1-0. Top of the ninth, 8-2 Blue Jays. Runner on first with one down. Turner 0 for 3 was hit by a pitch and scored in the sixth. Maton's offering. Outside ball 2. Turner with his long red hair poking out the back of his helmet. Back in the box, leaning back slightly as he waits for the 2-0 and swings and misses at a breaking ball to make it 2-1.
Did he recently get a haircut? His hair looks shorter than it did early on.
I think he got like a trim. I don't know if I'd call that a full cut because it's still not short at all. You know better than me though. Feels like a haircut before opening day. It seems right. Get a couple days off. The 2-1. Turner lifts foul to the right side, out of play. 2-2.
I guess start fresh, but you never want to mess with a good thing, though.
That's true. That's true. When I was broadcasting for the Fort Wayne Tin Caps, a guy forgot to shave his mustache before a start, threw 6 scoreless innings, and had a mustache for half the season after that. Turner asked for time, but now he's back in the box. Todd Tishner, the home plate umpire, resets the clock, and we're ready to go with the 2-2. Maton in the set. Kicks and delivers, and Turner hits it hard on the ground to short. Throw over to second for 1. Lau over to Diaz at first. 6-4-3. Inning-ending double play. A walk for the Blue Jays, but the twin-killing ground ball ends the top of the ninth inning. Toronto will look to close out a first win of the season when we return. 8-2, the Blue Jays lead, middle of the ninth. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At our core, who are we? The sum of our parts? Nah, we're more than that. There's nobody like us. At our core, we are built to win. Relentless in our pursuit of greatness. Who are we? Blue Jays, to the core.
Everyone dreams of owning their own personal slice of heaven. Now you can, thanks to Fixed Rate Pizza by Pizza Pizza. Until the end of 2024, lock into an extra-large 4-topping pizza at a fixed price of $17.99. No matter how bad food prices get this year, your pizza price stays. So why not say no to surge pricing and yes to fixed-rate pizza? Order now from Pizza Pizza.
Order pizzapizza.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Runner going, throw down to second. They got him.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays Baseball. Show Ali with you at Baseball Control in our downtown Toronto studios. Jays lead the Rays 8-2 down at the Trop. Don't forget, we do have Jays Talk today. Blair and Barker will take your calls as always. He will throw out the numbers after the final out. We'll get the phone lines going again starting tonight for the rest of the season. And, of course, the guys will be on Mondays to Fridays all year long. Blue Jays Baseball is brought to you, of course, by Crown Rust Protection. Jays lead at 8-2 at the Trop. Here's Ben Shulman and Chris LaRue at the bottom of the ninth.
Thank you very much, Joe. The Blue Jays make a pitching change here to try and lock up a win on day one of the season. Tim Meza, the left-hander, is on to take on Isaac Paredes, Richie Palacios, and Jose Siri. Like Show said, an 8-2 lead. Meza will use a sinker-slider combination with a fastball in the low to mid-90s. He's a lefty who's nearly as effective against right-handed hitters as he is against lefties. He steps and delivers and hits the zone for strike one against Isaac Paredes. Tim Meza was one of the most important Blue Jays relievers last season, the 0-1. Breaking ball yanked foul, 0-2. He pitched 69 times, 53 in the third innings, a 1.5 ERA for Tim Meza. Stranded almost as many runners as anyone in baseball. And he gave up just 2 home runs in 69 appearances. The 0-2. Bounce the slider, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I think that's the big number that people forget to look at is how many runners have you stranded. When you come to a ball game and you have guys on first and second, that's somebody else's ERA. That's somebody else's runners. When you can strand those runners, that's almost more important than what your ERA actually is.
The 1-2. Check swing. He did go around on that breaking ball in the dirt. Paredes strikes out for the first out here in the bottom of the ninth. Kevin Cash going to go to his bench here to avoid a lefty-lefty matchup. He brings Ahmed Rosario off the bench. Off-season signing on a 1-year, $1.5 million deal by the Rays. He'll take over in the spot of Richie Palacios. The pitch, inside, ball one. Rosario spent last season split between Cleveland and the Dodgers, but spent a while with Cleveland and a while with the Mets. The 1-0 pitch is grounded foul, third base side. 1-1. Guy who's played a lot of shortstop, went the other way in the Francisco Lindor trade. The 1-1. Hit high and deep to left center field. Varsho and Kiermaier converging, and that one gets down on the track. Kiermaier picks it up and sends it back into the infield, but not before Rosario gets to second with a stand-up double.
And that ball was hit about as far as you can without it going out at Tropicana. There's a little triangle out in left center, and it landed right in the middle of that triangle. Kiermaier and Varsho both running hard after it.
It's not quite the triangle at Fenway Park, but Ahmed Rosario hit that ball 404 feet and is on second rather than circling the bases. So some life here for Tampa Bay, though, after that double. Jose Siri is up with one out and a runner on second. Mesa's pitch. Fouled back, 0-1.
Yeah, if you can out-hit Varsho and Kiermaier running after a ball, that was good placement.
For Rosario, that is first at-bat as a Ray. Nice first impression for him. He's on second with a fair amount of speed. If Siri can hit a single to the outfield, might be able to score him. 0-1 to Siri. Swing and a miss. Mesa spiked that breaking ball. Siri went after it, and it's 0-2.
Mesa loves to go back foot breaking ball. That's kind of his bread and butter. If I was him right here, I'd go fastball up, but if I know Tim Mesa, he's going back foot breaking ball here.
The 0-2 tried to go for that breaking ball. It bounced and was blocked by Kirk. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I've never even watched his stuff on an iPad, but I've seen enough Tim Mesa innings where I know that he loves that.
Yeah, that feels like what he's trying to do against righties all the time. Maybe it's because they're expecting a lot of sinkers away. Mesa ahead 1-2. Kicks and delivers. Yanked the fastball down and in, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You also can't argue with a guy that has a 1.5 ERA.
No, or that's stranded near as many runners as anyone in baseball, or who didn't give up a home run until late in the season last year. And he's the longest tenured Blue Jay in the organization in 2013, debuted in 2017. 2-2 pitch, hit on the ground to second. Biggio gloves on the forehand side, throws over to first. Rosario will move from second to third, but there are now 2 down. The Blue Jays 1 out away from a first win.
And they're 4-0 in their last 4 opening days.
Yeah, they haven't lost an opening day since 2019.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but they're undefeated.
I think it's just kind of a thing.
It's just a thing.
Jose Caballero up, a right-handed hitter. First pitch, low ball 1. Well, if you look at that 2019 game, it's a completely different team. They lost against Detroit at Rogers Center 2-0 in 10 innings. Marcus Stroman was their opening day starter. Brandon Drury led off for them. Danny Jansen's the only guy even on the roster, although he's on the injured list, that appeared in that game. Swing and a miss by Caballero to make it 1-1. That's a long time ago. The 1-1 to Caballero. Held his swing back, appeal down to first. He didn't hold his swing back on the appeal. They say he went around on that back foot breaking ball. And Meza and the Blue Jays are 1 strike away here from putting a first win in the books. Runner on third, 2 down. The 5-run 6th inning, the big difference in this 8-2 ball game for the Blue Jays. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tim Meza fans Jose Caballero, and the Blue Jays start 2024 with a win. What do you think that does for their confidence, Chris, getting off on the right foot against a team that's expected to be really tough in the Tampa Bay Rays?
Well, this is a team that they're going to be fighting with all season, along with the Yankees, along with, of course, the Baltimore Orioles. But I think that the biggest thing when you watch this game is not Jose Barrios. I think everybody expected Jose Barrios to be as good as he was. He looked incredible today. He looked like he was in mid-season form. But you have to go back to Vlad. You have to go back to George Springer. And you have to go back to Cavan Biggio. Those are 3 guys that will be integral to the success of this team, especially Vlad. If Vlad can even be a little bit like he was in 2021, this team has the potential to be in the playoffs and beyond. So for Vlad to come out and show that he still has that big power potential, I think that shows that this team could potentially have a deep run into the playoffs.
They start off the season the right way. They win 8-2 at Tropicana Field. And we will talk a little bit more about this one when we return, before passing you off to Blair and Barker. Stick around. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Which Looney Dogger are you? The fork and knifer, splatterer, condiment queen, or Big Dipper? This season at Rogers Center, every Tuesday home game is Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. You will have the opportunity to purchase $1 hot dogs from various concession stands around the stadium. Then show the world your Looney Dog style. Because whether you're the mustard maven or ketchup king, no Blue Jays game is complete without hot dogs. So don't miss out on this deal. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's, every Tuesday home game.
Hey, this is Danny Jansen. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The Blue Jays start 2024 the right way. They defeat the Rays 8-2 at Tropicana Field to pick up win number 1 this season. Thanks so much for sticking around. We'll get you to Jays Talk with Blair and Barker coming up in just a sec. Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue here. This was a game that the Blue Jays won on the back of some power hitting and good pitching as well. Jose Barrios really strong today. 6 innings of work, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. Chris mentioned it earlier. But for the Blue Jays, they were behind for a lot of the game because Barrios gave up a home run to Yandy Diaz in the first, and Toronto wouldn't even have a hit until the 4th. That's when George Springer hit a ball out of the yard and made it a 1-1 game. Still, Barrios chugged along, and the Blue Jays waited until the 6th when Cavan Biggio went deep to give them a 2-1 lead. And then, after a ground out from Springer, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. stepped up to the plate and did this. Vladdy slightly open in his stance. Here's the 2-1 from Eflin. And it's hammered to center field. Siri in a jog. He'll watch it sail over the wall. A moonshot for Guerrero. 3-1 Blue Jays.
I mean, we've talked about this ad nauseum, but for this Blue Jays offense to be what it can be, Vlad needs to be good. Last year he was fine. He needs to be at least good for this offense to be what it can be and take this team to the next level. 450-foot home run today.
Yeah, that was hit to the deepest part of the yard and way up. There aren't any seats there, but that would have been like a second or maybe even like a 300-level home run at the Rogers Center. That made it 3-1. And then the Blue Jays strung a bunch of hits together. Bichette had one. Kirk and Kiermaier came up with RBI singles. Bo would drive 2 more in the 7th. And it ended up not just being a power game, but the Blue Jays, who think they can string hits together too, Chris, came up with a couple different rallies at different points in the game.
Yeah, a lot of good things happened today. Bo Bichette was 2 for 4. We talked about Kevin Biggio. He was an integral part of this win. Alejandro Kirk had 2 RBIs with that big hit. We like to make fun of the fact that spring training means nothing. But this Blue Jays team did look really, really good offensively in spring training, and they looked great today. So maybe something can be said about success in spring training breeds confidence into the season. I don't know if it necessarily brings success into the season, but it brings confidence, and then confidence obviously brings success. So hopefully it continues on.
Well, as Kevin Barker said to me while we were eating some ice cream in Florida, it's better than them not hitting. The Blue Jays win the game 8-2. Barrios picks up the win. Zach Eflin, the loser in a game that was 2.5 hours in front of just about 25,000 fans at the Trop. The Blue Jays play again tomorrow at 7, but we are not done talking Blue Jays today on the Sportsnet Radio Network. Appreciate you tuning into this one. For Show Ali, our host and producer, Tom Young, our technical director, Chris LaRue, my partner, I'm Ben Schulman. Hope to see you tomorrow, and stick around because Jays Talk with Blair and Barker starts right now.
Enough game. The way it's going to go all year, isn't it?
Boy, let's hope so.
8-2, the Blue Jays beating the Tampa Bay Rays. First of 162. Probably not 162 wins, but first of 162 games. This is Blue Jays Talk. I am Jeff Blair, Kevin Barker alongside me virtually. The numbers to call, as always, that hasn't changed. 416-870-0590, star 590, 1-888-666-0590. Same numbers as last year. I guess, Kevin, the real question, after spring training and after hearing so much talk about team-wide approach and do damage on pitches you can do damage on, and et cetera, put that game, or put this game, especially that big inning, that 5-run inning, that 5-run 6th inning for the Blue Jays, put it in context for myself and the listeners in light of what we were talking about all spring training.
Yeah, I think so. Look, I think it's you lay off the pitcher's pitch to get the good one. And you just look, first time through, they look nervous to me. And Eflin's ball was moving all over the place. So it's a combination of, first game of the season, got some nerves. You don't really know how to attack a guy. Ball's moving all over the place. You haven't seen it in a while. That's another thing. So I think first time through, you give them a little bit of a hall pass. Second time through, it's bad pitching. You get some bad pitching. Jordan Springer got a no-oh sweeper basically down the middle. I don't think that's the right kind of pitch that you want to throw him. No, I understand probably trying to steal a strike. You want to go, outer third or off the plate. You miss on the plate, do get the head out, and he hits a homer, ties the game. Biggio's sort of the same thing, right? Gets a 1-0 sweeper down and in. That's sort of the sweet spot for lefty, the little natural uppercut in his swing. It's a bad pitch. We had Brian Anderson on our show today, and I said, if you got any advice for the Blue Jays, what is it? And he said, this dude will give you something to hit. He's not perfect. He's a human being. You got to lay off the good ones to get the bad one. And again, after the first time through the order, that's sort of, I think, what they did. And I don't know about you, but boy, that 2-1 cutter that Vladdy hit to center, I don't know why that just felt so good. I didn't even hit it, and it made me feel good, Jeff. So it's a different sound. It looked different, just seeing him run around the bases the way he did. Hopefully we see that about 55 more times. So, yeah, I think, and again, they sort of were talking about how they were going to put the names in the lineup the right way. I don't know about you, but for whatever reason, it just looks like the right name is in the right spot right now. And I think that bodes well, right? The right guy's coming up when it matters the most. Kirky came up with 2 outs, got the big hit. Bo came up, with 2 outs. 0-2 pitch, got the big hit. Like, it's little things like that, right? Kiermaier, another guy, got a big hit with 2 outs. So it's just sort of you be yourself when you walk to the plate. If they can consistently do that against some good pitching, the big boys be the big boys. Everybody else just sort of fight and claw, get a good pitch, stay in the big part of the field, and good things will happen. So great pitching, great defense, and some timely hitting. That'll win you a bunch of games, Jeff.
Yeah, there were a couple of things I really liked about that inning. First of all, you pointed this out. It's a perfect spot for Kevin Biggio if you want to hit a home run. And he did hit a home run. I mean, that's what we're talking about. When you get the pitch in an area where you can do damage, do it. And I got to tell you, it kind of gets lost in that inning as well. But Dalton Varsho took a pitch that I think last year, I don't know. I think he might have taken a hack at it last year. Takes a pitch. He ends up working a walk. He's small, one game. But when all spring, all you're hearing is don't swing at it if you can't do damage with it. Yeah. Don't swing at the pitcher's pitch. When you see that actually come through in a game, and yeah, it's the opener. But when you see it come through in a game, it is satisfying. Because otherwise, you know what? If it didn't work, if they lost this game, I don't know, 5-1, we'd be coming on and saying, all that bull in spring training about team-wide approach and everything.
You said they need to do on a 10-game road trip is go 5-5, and now all of a sudden you're over to my side.
I'm not on your side.
6-4.
What do you think?
Absolutely.
This doesn't change. I thought they're going to win this game.
It does, absolutely. It just gives you a better feeling about yourself when you actually see what they're talking about actually come true between the lines against a really good pitcher. Eflin's a good pitcher. Like, I know he had a bad spring training. He must have been working on something. And, it's hard to repeat seasons when you're not a hard thrower. He's a location movement guy. Sometimes just the location and the movement all the time's not there. So, yeah, I like it. I mean, I'm not trying to get my hopes up too much, but
sure
boy, it looks good, Jeff. It looks
no,
really
listen,
good.
Listen, fairness, when something is a point of emphasis in spring training and it happens in the regular season, that's good. Like, that is good. It almost makes you think that maybe spring training matters.
And I think something too is how John's going to manage that bullpen. He's got a couple of guys down there.
And you saw
Jimmy Garcia.
You pointed out
him up in the 6th inning.
He had Jimmy Garcia up in the 6th inning because
absolutely.
I mean, that tells you something right there.
That's urgent, right? I told you this when I was in spring training. That's all they talked about. Is getting off to a good start. You got to do it with your best dudes. He's trying to do that. It's pretty cool to watch.
5-5 is urgent. 416-870-0590 star 591 888 0598 the Blue Jays a winning start to the 2024 championship season. Rob in Port Hope, you were in Tampa. You were at Tropicana Field, Rob. Thanks for joining us. It sounded to me like there was a lot of Blue Jays fans there.
Oh, there's a lot of Blue Jay fans in our section above the Jays dugout. They're from all over the place. They're from Australia, Germany, Alberta, Toronto, of course. We were well represented. It was fun. It's not a great place to see a ball game, and the whole upper section, I don't know if you guys see it on TV, is empty. But, yeah, there are a lot of Jay fans, and it was great. And I think what Sparker was just saying a minute ago, we got to see 90% of the home spring training games while we were down here.